Thank you, Father, for creating all things. If there was such thing as luck, that would not be possible. So thank you for creating all things. That way I know that luck is not a possibility. No such thing as free will, no such thing as luck. So thank you for that. Thank you for sending your son and sacrificing your son. So for the new covenant. So what a witness, what a time for these eyes to see all these men perform all this gaslighting on these people who don't have scripture in their hearts. They're not chosen. You didn't choose them. Can't be saved. Can't accept Christ. Can't speak in tongues. Can't corkscrew and spin me on a ball in the third rock sun on the Milky Way galaxy like candy bar. Are you in the candy bar Milky Way galaxy? Candy rituals with their galactic crossing the Great X. So we'll do a little stinky muskrat decode. You're being gaslit with Doge, ye God. So thank you, Father. You are not God. That is a title. You are my Father. My dad is not here anymore. Had been for a lot older than my dad ever lived to be. So, but that's okay. I know that most won't see it, won't give that eye to see. And even if I tell them, it'll fall on deaf ears, right? Oh, wow, there's... How's good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a country minute. So, imagine the changes that are going on so fast. Things just move at break your neck speed, huh? Yeah, Mr. Stinky Muskrat and his Tesla can't get a Tesla to go 500. I flip those things off when I see him drive down the road. FJD, FDT, FGW, what's this one's name? RFK and PIG. Father said, don't sup with swine. So don't. You never heard the song called F the Fireman, have you? That's a pastor from, Bishop Stoner at Church of the Only Begotten Son. That's his. I can't take that from him. He came up with that. Never heard a song called F the Fireman, have you? So firemen run into a building they'll run in there for your cat, risk their life. Cops, all they care about is two stupidest words I've ever heard is officer safety. If you worry about get another line of work, pig. So pigs are getting another line of work, pig. They created more pig jobs last year. Now I'm not talking about clown cops, talking about government, people in government. That's what a pig is. Not just clown cops, but commerce cops. So who's the corporate cop? Corporation. The leader of that would be Mr. Chump himself. He loves pigs. Remember, he loves cops, and he's all that. He's a bootlicker, and he's an imperialist, and he's just taking over everything now. Everybody's like, yes, we love this man. And I'm like, whoa, Canada doesn't want to be the 51st state. If we're going to make the Gulf of America, then let's make Texas and California, Mexico again. Well, let's do that, right? We got to make sure we pour out, algebra, you take something from here, you got to get over here. Not this manifest destiny nonsense. Well, anyways, yeah, we're going to expose these. He said, I was a snake. Leviathan, that crooked serpent, before you let me in, remember? the old lady in the snow, why'd you bite me? Because you got the jab, and then you got the bite in. Oh, that was a double, like a viper. First, the hollow needle. Welcome to YouTube. We're on the channel where we're blogging we were banned on TikTok and this shadow ban channel. So you might want to come back and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, because we are missing a few people here and there. We're wondering where kill anxiety. So good to see Iceman. People were wondering where you were at too, Werner, but it's good to see your face. Space, time, and place. And here are spaceships, space boats. I don't know. How's the vessel treating you? Hope he's the wind in the sail, pushing you where you should be. Find your time, place, and space, because we're at war right now. Tariff is a form of war. So last time Trump was in office, remember 45, 4 plus 5 equals 9, and 4 plus 7 equals 11. So Mr. 911, you just call him Mr. 911. You had to skip Joe. Remember, you ever play Uno, the card Uno? How about reverse? We'll go back to 45 is 4 plus 5 is 9, right? So he had to be the 45th president, then skip. Oh, wait, hold on. Is that reverse? Skip is for reverse card. They have reverse card. But anyways, you're getting played. Blackjack. How about you split the cards and you be a double demon and tell me, no, not you. Anyways, distributor fortunes or lies. That's right. Hard times equal strong men. Weak times, easy times make weak men. Hard times make strong men, and easy times make weak men, and weak men make hard times. Absolutely, man. Good to see her in that narrow way. You know, you can't check out of here like a sucker fish and blow your head off, or jump off a cliff, or go death by cop or something stupid like that. You have to suffer. Good to hear that you're in a narrow way still. Father Sozo, you must endure to the end. He picks and carries up, he'll right every wrong. He will heal every pain. Yes, he will carry you, bring you to the ending point and heal you. I don't want to hear that. Good to hear that. Outstanding. So tariffs, Panama said, kiss my left. You know what? They're not going to take it. Twisted Sister, D. Snyder. Seriously, I want to rock. And he's my Petra. So being a little here tonight, eh? Just thought I'd come in here for a country minute and tell you that, everything's awesome, Team America. God loves everybody, and good to see you. Easy Jesus, cotton candy, life's good, football, and mud flaps, and San Francisco 49ers and Washington Redskins. Oh, wait, you can't say that. That's not politically correct anymore. They're not the Redskins. That's so stupid, man. Hey, they're almost going to do their stupid halftime occultic ritual show, and they'll put scripture in it, and people will be like blind to see any biblical reference to anything during that corporation, tax exempt corporation called the National Football League, and their Hall of Fame tax exempt corporation, and they tax their people who live in the cities that they have these Roman modern day. They used to at least bring out lions and stuff. Now these guys are just a bunch of modern day Anunnaki giants running around with tights and, modern day chasing low energy swine skin and fruit colored, like that gum, whatever fruit. What was that gum that you only chew for like fruit stripes? They're like fruit stripes. Yeah, a bunch of fruit stripes running around, millionaires chasing a low energy swine skin, and people are killing each other over these men. They used to kill each other over kingdoms and, princesses and gold and silver and rights. Now they're killing each other over men in tights, IOUs and tennis shoes. It was Nikes in the day, Jordans when I was younger, but what a regression of society, where they'll go back and look and say, well, yeah, they got him to walk down the aisle. They said, if you go down the aisle this way, the bug will get you if you go the other way. Look at this. Oh, let's make it comical. Let's just go back and look at things. Hey, let's lift it a little bit in here. Remember, if you don't stand on the X, you don't support this. We're all going to die. That's right. We're all going to die. That's what we all have in common. Hallelujah. Death is an illusion. You're idiot. Somebody sold you an idea of death and you bought it, and you're trying to sell everybody else your bull, golden age, peace and shalom and all this. Nothing. You're not biblical. You're not scripture. You're a religious idiot. Religions and isms all their cannibalism, Christianity, cannibalism, vampism, crackers and grape juice, brothers, sisters, sanity, lunar ticks, or ticks like poly, meaning many, and blood like democrypt, and ticks, bloodsucker, many bloodsucker, politics. Don't get me to going tonight, boys. I'm telling you what, I ain't gonna take it. Like told you, D. Snyder. Remember, he's my Petra. Don't build your house on sinking sand. You can pound rocks if you don't like it. Start with boulders. You can make it into gravel, and then you can pound that into sand. Kick it until it turns into sand. Jimmy Crack Corn. Try to stop eating corn. You are what you eat. Your body's a temple. Remember that. Taking applications for being organic. You want to try to be organic, then go back to just putting your hands in the dirt. God doesn't like capitalism. Not one above another under this covenant. You might want to go back to the, hados means in the same narrow way. So do what he did, and don't think that you're above anybody else. Go be charitable. Go tell everybody that. That's the blessing. That was the good news. I just told it to you. That's the gospel. Hallelujah. Under this covenant, why aren't you already out here? Run. Oh, hey, that's good news. You're supposed to spread it. Don't hide that light. Whoa, you're not the Old Testament. God didn't love everybody. He still don't love everybody, but it was only the house of Aaron and the Levite. All the Levitical laws, all these dietary laws. We're just talking about food. So it's not what goes in a man under this covenant. Well, man, it's what comes out of him, right? That, whatever. Get with the times. It's not 2025, idiot. Celestial times, markers, they're left there. In Genesis, it tells us for times and seasons. What is time? There's something above your head says that, and that's they do all this by that up above your head. They know that, and you don't. You think it's 2025, don't you? Silly, sad, lunatic world I live in. Bunch of twisted idiots, sister, or what? Told you, Jimmy Crack Corn. Not gonna take it. No mas. Adios. Oh man, we're getting everybody coming in here tonight. No man, on Messenger. I didn't get a message on Messenger. Anyways, Messenger. Huh. I'm not sure which one that is, unless that's like some other name. If that's Donald, freaking have million name Donald, who works under many names, I guess. Hey, what's happening? Where we come from here? How now, brown cow? What? The bull. It's the golden age, baby. Go, yes, go, Donald Don. Mr. Orange Face, Badman Brown, or Orange. You tell me. Yeah, I figured that much. It's like, I only know it's fucking like, the names have been changed to protect the innocent. They've been moved to another time plate. Just keep it, just as long as it's not in capital letter. I'm good with that, man. That's better. Anything that's not in capital letters is as a friend of mine. No. Get rid of the corporation. Yeah, it's pretty heavy, man. I don't lift weights. Want to know why? Because they're heavy, man. Oh, all right. Whatever. Well, how's Canada feeling? Canada is now the 59th, 1st, 5th, 4th. What the hell is this? Oh, can you do the math on it? Wants to be a state. Donald said, hey, Canada, we don't need your cars. We don't need you, Canada. You need us. You need our protection. Dave's not here, man. Oh, it's just a bird, man. Oh, all right. Hey, moving on. He said, check this out, man. Yo, check this out. He said, oh, hey, look, Canada wants to be the 51st state. Greenland wants to be make Greenland America again. Or make America Greenland again. What? How about we'll make Mexico, we'll make Texas and California Mexico again. How about that? We'll make sure it's an equilibrium. You got to do this by math, right? He said, you pour out a just measure. They're going to make it the Gulf of America. Then we'll make it that we'll go turn all these states back to Mexico, right? That would be the right thing to do, right? I already mentioned it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Talk about Ryan. Ryan Kill Anxiety. He lives here in Oregon. Ryan is from north in the state of. There is no such thing as Murphy's Law. But I hear you. There's only agape and idolatry. There's no such thing as free will. So there's no actual law being. All crimes in America are crimes of commerce. So you're under an illusion. There's the effect. We have effects, many effects, many idioms, many of parables, but law, Shem, is not Jesus. Did you hear when I just gave you that info there, Don? Oh, I know Murphy, but I also know Jack, you know. You know Diddley? Most people know Diddy. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate your just most people don't know the difference between an idiot and an idiom. So, you know, a little word salad, people get a little offended when you call them an idiot, but that doesn't matter. Or if you know the definition of idiot, you're not offended by a word. Sticks and stones, the two stupidest words I think I've ever heard in my life is officer safety. No, hate speech. Both of those are idiotic. Those are definitely hate speech. Get out of here. Can't yell fire. It's just, I'm a veteran. You know, you have the Constitution. Congress shall establish no law prohibiting the exercise of free speech. There you go. Not freedom. Da-dum, dum, dum. There's no such thing as it's rights. Right to choose, not freedom. Get out of here. I'm better. You can tell me. You got the DD 214 that says honorable discharge. If not, at ease, soldier. Use your Fifth Amendment and STFU. Okay. Didn't get it right the first time there. All right. What do we. Hey, since I caught an word, nothing. I know. I think he might be. I think maybe the state of Oregon off to. To be honest, so I have no other idea. It keeps coming up. Appreciate all you people who at least keep bringing it up because I haven't. I've just put faith like Daniel, and I've pushed. I have, coming court date. They've done nothing. Like I still got swatted and walked off that door just not almost 9 months ago. This country has failed a veteran. Totally failed a veteran who stood up, used Constitution shall be not in what part of shall not be infringed. I didn't use no Second Amendment rights. I could have killed 2 state troopers. I could have killed John Mogul, some idiot looking like Chunk from Goonies, come on my property, told him 18 times to immediately to go to the outside, leave the property. It's clearly marked. They don't care though. They just do what they want. And I know his father, so I can't know last time. If you haven't updated, I thought my son was going to show up to a trial and then he wasn't there. So everything since then has just been really hard, a million times harder. And I think he's gone. He's missing. He just disappeared. So they're talking about another person that's on this platform disappearing. I don't even know where my daughter's at either. So not my son nor my daughter gone. And, I'm not going to file no stupid police report. Fuck the police. And they're tyrants, and I'm not going to sit there and contract with these tyrants ever. Will I allow myself? I was a pig, part not just a person in government, but a clown cop, SWAT, all these things. Instead, they do that to my house. So I appreciate you asking. Everything all right? I got faith like Daniel. If he's not here, then he's not suffering anymore. Hallelujah. My daughter, that sucks because she didn't suck. She got dragged into this. Remember I had my hands in the air on the live stream. You're freaking the fucking shit out of my daughter. Call me, somebody stop fucking stalking me. You guys are out of your, this is crazy. And they drove on my property. I could have killed 2 pigs that day. That's why I told that idiot pig from the county. Stop telling me murder and looked in the stater pig. Stop looking at me, stater pig. I'm talking to your camera pig, your leader pigs in your camera. I'm not Lavoy Finnick. I'm not going to off me. You try to come out here, whatever. Not stood down. I do work here still I have to stand. Remember the halakha and Haggadah is a perversion of the oral written law from the original Old Testament from the Hebrew to the Aramaic. I know this. I'm held accountable because I'm a prior pig, cop, veteran, military police in the Army, 95 Bravo. So I know this. So you might want to listen when I start telling you the things about war. I know war better than any other military skill identifier in the Army, in the Navy, in the Air Force, in the Marines. We OJT, we on-job training with all military. They just deputized the frickin' National Guard. You idiots better pay attention. Posse Comitatus was been repealed by the Senate. They can draft our women. I rebuke America. They failed my son. They shot him in the chest. They threw a literal concussion grenade, which is excessive force, and concussed my face. 45 seconds. That's not how you serve a warrant. They wanted me dead. They wanted to Lavoy Finnick him. If you know who that is, that was a man who crossed that Rubicon, if you will, and out here in Oregon. Very aware of, going from one county to another. They sent the state of Oregon to come out here, and they used their SWAT team, and they did this time. Again, they're a rogue. I live in a state where it's not, this ain't the only state that things are going on like that's going in this state. They take these poorest counties and they release more murders, rapists, and pedophiles into these counties, and to fund these parole and probation departments. And that's where my son ended up getting in trouble with somebody. And I was involved in the case from check day one, everything. And they still, to this day, have all the evidence to prove it. All the evidence to prove it. And they won't look at it still to this day, 9 months later. And remember, I got, ended up getting concussion grenade, flash concussion grenade, stun grenade in the face. In the face. How am I even standing here? I know other people are law enforcement officers, prior veterans, things like myself, said that they've been in a room with earplugs and it knocks you silly out of your feet. You can't even stand up. I don't know how I continued to march through the rest of that moments before, Father's kept me here still to this day. So whatever, my eyes screwed up. I've suffered, head wound, stroke, all these other things, but I'm still teaching. I'm not saying, I have to. He makes me. I'm accountable. I was one of these pigs myself, threw people in a rape cage. Under the Constitution, you have the right to face your accuser. This whole thing is a sham. And if they come try to kill me again, so what? They didn't get me last time. They sent 25, men, 20 plus men. I don't know how many. The locals said they never seen so many SWAT vehicles in this town ever, but it's okay because they didn't get what they came for. Father had a different, they came with an A plan to kill me, just like Lavoy Finnick. The state of Oregon was called in to take care of this veteran that wouldn't shut the fuck up during the COVID. It kept standing up for these businesses out here and standing up against Kate Brown and Donald Trump's emergency. I'm not going to go into the details because this channel is already flagged once and don't want another strike because I'm going to try to keep the ministry up for the fact that, this isn't about me. This wasn't about my son. This was about a bigger cause. I have evidence of everything to prove. I know evidence. It's called right of discovery, suppression of evidence. You can't suppress any evidence in trial. That 98.5% of cases don't render a jury verdict and they take a plea deal agreement, plea bargain. You agree for the bar to gain your number of merchant is called bond. They said open for business. Sold on the stock exchange, New York, your labor, W-2. It's called a merchant number. You just don't know. You get quarter rocked like a horse you ride at the, prison over there. Bob gives you a double stuffed Oreo. And if you ever watched Harold and Kumar, I'm not going to say it, but it is what it is. That's what people pay for. A lot of things going horrible in women's prisons. There are so many people locked up without a victim. The state, how can the state be the victim? I've done this. This shoe has been on the boot that's been on this neck of this nation because I'm a veteran. What can I say? I've done these horrible, terrible things. 1,000+ military bases breaks this new covenant, so it's not part of this New Testament. And as I pastor that, if I'm going to be the only one teaching that and professing that and ministering this new covenant that he said, let vengeance be mine. We are not supposed to have even one military base outside our border. So it's an apostasy to the New Testament. It's not in line under this new covenant. And if I have to sacrifice the flesh and they martyr me and they eventually kill me, they already tried once. And Father's watching. I know he's protecting me. I shouldn't even be standing here today. I should be able to put two sentences together. They should have rushed me to the hospital. I suffered a concussion grenade, 45 seconds, flash bang grenade in my face at 45 seconds. And I continued again. All I was concerned about, if you watch the live stream, was my dogs. I ate 4 or 5 tear gas canisters a month I spent in that. So if you look into it, Donald, there's a certain time where it'll pass. I got to be careful talking about this. It is what it is. Got a medical strike and don't want that. That's why I got to be careful about this talk about this. I know what it is. It was when we were talking about when Elijah went missing too. So they're in here. Remember, I was flashing that. They're never not in here. They're always in here. It doesn't matter if you think they're in here or not. They are. So always try to remember that. I never forget it. Ever, ever, ever. So when I'm not on, I talk to my camera all the time. If you're around me, I talk to this phone all the time, and I don't care because you guys forget that it's on all the time. They don't need a battery. It does not need charged. You're just foolish. Why do you think they made it so you can't take the battery? There's technology. They don't need a battery in the phone. It could be remotely fired satellite charged enough to explode. Bang! Remember? I think Donald does. So, yeah. Boy, we just seem to forget these things so easily, don't we? Apologies for my outburst, guys, but this happens, man. Via remote, they'll shut your heat off and your toaster will report to the NSA, and people love this place and space and time. And not me. I'm ready to go, but I'll hold on and endure to the end. I'll tell everybody the good news until he keeps me. He won't. I won't falter. I know he won't. But this far, it's just too habitual. You can't. Elect shall not be. It will not by only self. He won't do it. I will have to do it on my own. Man, I knew where you were going with that, and you still got it. Hey, I try to give you a little side. I thought maybe you were going to be on me with that for a minute, and you'd be able to. Yeah, this is all this new technology. Absolutely, Lady in Red. These cops can fire the remote. They see. That's what I'm saying. That this is so far. They're so far, but they're going to take it fast and hard to this new world again. Remember, the Constitutional Republic is gone, and they're going to take the corporation into a blockchain corporation, tokenized, where they're going to digitally track and trace, credit score everybody, and you're not going to be free to move out the cabin without real ID. And they're going to relocate most of these locations that most people live in. And your guys think I'm crazy, but it doesn't matter what you think, because these things have happened throughout history over and over. During minimas, the populace moves, and we're already in that. And that's what they're front running. This minima. I already told you this. This is other bloggers like Adapt 2030. David Devine has been telling you these things about these cycles, how they destroy these relics and they take away your history throughout history, and they want you to come into this new age. Every time this happens, it's cyclical. You're just not into the time. You have had you're not being held accountable, but you doesn't make these things not happening. Again, these things happen. I've showed you guys the Iron Cross, the celestial crossing, the galactic celestial, markers mark these times too. If you'll pay attention when these events happen, such as these 6,000, 12,400. There's so many cycles that they give the basics in high school and elementary, maybe a little bit of college, but very little of this. People might know of the 400 year, maybe the 12. Most people know about the cyclical cycle of if you look at the you know, the elliptical or whatever of Jupiter, and it's 11.49 for 9 year, you know, and you look at our solar minima and solar maxima, it is the second largest star in the atmosphere. So I know it drives that minima maxima. That's part of our Nina cycle and the lag between the minima and the maxima. There's all these things are sick. Our upper atmosphere is affected. You remember the hydrocycle in school, the basics, how our oceans drive, you know, a lot of our weather because of the, whoa, I think my battery's about to run out. I think I'm running out of gas, guys. Hold on, this is pretty neat. We're getting a Domo, how do you got? We might as well turn this one on. You guys, we're gonna totally go disco. You ready to go disco? I better go get some more gas in my generator, guys, or we're gonna totally lose our battery here. Ooh, that's pretty neat. What's going on in here, guys? I don't know. Maybe we lost our light or something. What's going on here? Okay. I got that light at the Goodwill, so maybe that's what it was, guys. Repurpose, reuse is what I do. So let's see what's going on here. because it was flickering. Maybe it was just because it was taking a dump and it was on its last leg. And I was just being silly doing the robot dance, and it was. Are we still charging here? Let's see. Ooh, we're not charging. Ooh. Okay, what do we got going here? Man, where the issue lies here. Hold on. Where do we got? Is this the issue here? I may have figured it out. Let's see. We'll do this, and if this is it, I'll know if that's the issue. Uh-oh. I think my extension cord went bad. Hey, be nice to the kitten. Don't need on him. He doesn't like that. Kitten boy. All right, maybe I'll go out and check the cord or something. Maybe it got a little something in the cord. Give me a second. I apologize, guys. Shining the flashlights and the. Yeah, okay, I'm not getting anything out of that cord. I think it might be my cord took a crap on me. All right, that happens. Cords go bad. That's interesting. That's a pretty good cord. That's almost a brand new cord there. Let me go outside and see if something happened out there. I don't think the kitties were out there. Nobody was out there messing with it. So we did try the phone. We did try. We'll try it one more time. Measure twice, cut once. No, we're already at war. So, with us. So, no, I heard about this. I heard about that line and something where actually Trudeau fired back at him. He fired back at him and said, "Oh, yeah, I was catching a little bit of that. Thanks for keeping up on it. I appreciate it, man. Lion, I do. Maybe I'm trying to figure out my power here. It's gonna maybe be a little dark. Hold on. Might have to call it a night." See if Dad fixed it. For consistency. Alright, let me try this uno más time here. Come on, big bucks, no whammy. Stop. Alright. Dun, 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 dun. All right, there we go. Like this. Oh, when you do them right there. Oh, put it right there. There we go. See, that's what I'm talking about. Just like that. All right, what do we got here? Let's find that one. That's it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There we go. Which flavor you like here? We got different flavors. Like that flavor? All right, this flavor, this flavor, this flavor. We got look at all these flavors we got here for you. All right. We got her fixed. We're making our own power out here. Okay. Boom. Chagalaga. Just like that, we're back in action. Okay. So this continual tirade of this apostate rogue government that's going around and just taking over land outside of the United divided corporation, funded by campaign funded corporations to select their 47 is 11, go back in time, and it's 45 is 9 and 9 go back to the future, and so 4 plus 5 is 9 and 4 plus 7 is 11, so you can just call him Mr. 911. Joe was part of the equation, don't you understand? Skip, it's a game of cards. How about reverse? You want me to go back to 45 again? You can't add it up. You do any gematria. 4 plus 5 is 9 and 4 plus 7 is 11. Mr. 911 himself. So tired of these wears me down, so I'm not going to stop though. I mean, although it's it's a marathon. You can't you have to endure to the end. Like there's just no other way. You can't check out of the game early. It's not the race is long. It's a marathon called life, and it don't matter what people around you. Well, if it's a marathon, you better pace yourself. I'm hoping we'll all come across this. Remember, it's a body, it's a bride. So you can be charitable, help another brother out, tell them they're not going to be saved until they endure to the end. So they have to endure the end to be saved. Nobody's being saved. Can't be saved. There you go. Go tell somebody that today. Share the news. Can't be saved. No such thing as being saved. God doesn't love everybody. So, is that a beautiful thing? That wouldn't even be right. Why would he love somebody that doesn't love him? Why would he purchase something that he didn't buy? Like if your kids are in the store at the Piggly Wiggly or whatever store you shop at, the Walmart, and they start throwing crap in the cart, are you going to buy it? I don't buy it. So back to Walmart, the Waltons, and Mr. Stinky Muskrat. So I hope you understand where we're going with this, guys. Are you ready to be relocated into whole communities and put into work camps? Waltons, Walmart, World War II? No, it won't happen. It's already happened. You don't ever think some of these pretendants, they get people to go after and revel after them? Kings do. 7th kings do. That's the 7th king right there. The one that's locked up in the pit. That's why Mr. Musk loves doing his stinky thing. So I forgot we're on the Decoded Muskrat. Mr. Baphomet, remember he wore the People's Champion? We know Mr. E-God. Okay, back on the title here. So, Dogecoin. Already got that one right again. Boom, bang. They're talking about it today. Faster favor. What were those seed? TrueLeafMarket.com and Territorial Seed Company. Here in Oregon is Territorial Seed Company. You're fine. Always for that kind of stuff, man. You know me, I always stop for the gospel. We got to take care of this while we're here, though. Plant seeds, broadcast. So we're doing the same thing. Hadosh, you're doing seeds. I'm doing seeds. We're all, hey, remember the mustard seed. It's the smallest of the garden. Keep feeding it, brothers, sisters. Water that. So Territorial And the reason why I tell you this company is, again, they harden these seeds for climate, and climate's changing so much. So um, that happens, not climate. Don't let's not go there, please. I'm just saying the climate's always changing. That's the one thing for sure. Climates always change. There are cyclical cycles within the climates, but true leaf market and territorial, so yeah. So the reason why I like those companies, and like I said, and they can get bulk through true leaf market. If you want to spread out microgreens, you should be trying to microgreen, eat as much microgreens as you possibly can. There are massive amount of nutrients contained in the smaller. It seems wasteful to do the seed, but if you'll grow out enough seeds during the year, you can start growing your own enough seeds to do your own microgreens and things like this. Amaranth. How do you think the Aztecs called all that amazing structures and feats built? They fed them amaranth, brothers, sisters, microgreen, microgreens. This ain't the first time we've done microgreens in history. It's been part of our culture. And remember, we talked about slavery. I'm very offended by people who don't understand slavery, but yeah, so they do have they're really good supply at a their packaging. They're a really good company to deal with. They really don't have any negative reviews or anything like that when I was dealing with them. And their shipping's reasonable and all. Yeah, just no complaints. I've sprouted all their seeds. Great. I have an amazing yeah, everything is heirloom. They don't sell anything that's not any of these places. Nothing they sell is not heirloom at Territorial or True Leaf. So it'll all be heirloom. I don't think they carry anything that's not. Open pollinated, non-genetically modified heirloom seeds are the only one. Then you need to grow and make your own seed vault plant. Start hardening these gardens if you could. I mean, I had mine taken and that's fine, but the best thing you can do is grow these seeds now. Get them into the ground and get them used to these climates, growing year after year after year. You'll get a better idea of how you're growing. It's like growing cannabis. I don't mean to run straight into that, but after you've grown a certain strain of cannabis, after 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you start to really understand these plants a lot better and how they fight. So how do you think somebody becomes to have a green thumb? They've done it for decades. You are not generally born with the green thumb. And if you are, it's because grandpa probably showed you how to do it and gave you the secrets on how to treat and grow the soil. Growing soil is where it's at. You are not going to have high nutrient dense plant if you have a soil that's depleted of nutrient. Although you'll have some where your nutrients come from your soil. A massive amount of it comes from the the microbes and the nutrients that are from the degradation, the erosion, the not going to go there, guys. It's just I'm going to start trying to explain this word simple, but it's not. It just our soil. You have to grow your soil. That's part of the process. You don't just grow a plant. So this is what the natives knew, and this is what they've taken all this away from people's understanding, where people commonly didn't waste their waste, always kept their waste and would burn their waste and use their urine and use all these things that people just flush and waste now away. And they governments, they love this so much. They people think it would be crazy to use this, but that was never wasted. That's wasteful. To be, you burn that off and all this is left behind. And like I said, they could take a land like where I live, which is very alkaline, high alkaline soil, and turn it into a little black gold, by, burning the soil and urinating on the soil and dumping their feces and burning it, and then putting all the, foliage and all their, maybe end of their corn stalks, all the same thing we would do today, extra shells, from eggs and all this, waste to turn that soil year after year and turn that into literally black, dirt that looks like something you take out of the middle of a forest, started out as, something high alkaline that you wouldn't think you could even grow anything in, which it should, very little few things will grow in a high alkaline, environment. Some things do, but you're not going to get, your most of your vegetables and your fruits and your vegetables that are not going to like a high alkaline. They're going to fight with that. But anyway, so there's more of a balance there. And again, it's more about you're in this. Hope it would say see, Annie, see what I'm saying? It's wasteful to throw it away. so wasteful now. We just waste these things, and it actually used to urinate on their uh, fire uh, buckets. And the bucket would normally have ash in there because that ash will knock down that urine smell, and it won't have a smell. So there's another little secret for those who understand how to use their product and don't waste things and have not, like I said, you take all your ash from your fire, and you take and use use that in your bucket, and that will keep that. Urine has more of a smell than your feces does. Generally, if you keep the two separate, does not smell. The urine has a much more smell than the feces. You think your poop would, but no, it really doesn't. Not nearly as much as urine has a much higher the ammonia and uric acids and all right. Well, it's not. God, it's hard to not talk about things. Try to not be all technical. I wish I would stop doing that, or could do and not do that as much. But well, you have to explain a little bit for people to understand, right? So, but either way, if you separate these, they don't mix. They don't have near another the same smell. And you would think that like coffee has more caffeine, but tea does. So there's things we get just kind of taught a little backwards. A little hacks that we've lost. But pretty important that you know these skill sets, and get yourself in the mindset that you're going to be useful and not wasteful. Go back to waste not, want not. Like I told you, go back to some of these ways that you already know, and just try to remember the ways you were taught, the way our grandparents taught us, the way our parents taught us, that we knew these things already. And some of these things we've just kind of lost touch with. If we go back to some of these old ways that we already knew, and some of us, it's okay to learn the old ways, and make them new. Refresh your skills, or you know, feel refreshed to be, independent. It's a very good feeling, brothers, sisters. When you produce your own power, and see, I lost power for a second, but I got her fixed there. It's not like, oh, I had a little power outage here at the ranch. Oh my goodness, it was the end of the world. See that? Now I fixed it on the power company. Don't worry, I didn't have to call them up, wait for them. There was no rolling brownout or black, and they're going to charge my system. I'm not connected to the ground. I'm not connected at all. So, um, yeah, definitely. The reason why, I don't know if you know what an heirloom seed is, Don. All these genetically modified seeds. An heirloom seed has not been modified genetically through a chemical process, and it's been like, for example, if you want to grow chickpeas and they grow in a dry climate, you want to grow them in a wet climate, you can mess with that through a chemical process and genetically. People think, ooh, snapping there in a microscope or something in some laboratory. Like, that's not how most genetically modification is not done through the process of some microscope at a level of DNA. It's done with a chemical process. So Monsanto much, they're in charge of our food. Vietnam, Agent Orange, hello. Is there anybody out there? It's pretty numb here what they've got going. But eat your box canned and bagged food, and love your bugs. Eat your bugs and be happy and own nothing. So, yep, there you go. So that's again the reason why I bring you to these companies too, about heirloom seeds too, brothers, sisters, is not only are these companies that have been referring to you, especially, let me put out a huge territorial seed company. Although they're out of Oregon, they deal with seeds all around this rock, north, south, east, and west. They don't just deal with seeds in Oregon, they deal with seeds all over the rock. And so they have been growing seeds in areas that are hardening these seeds for these areas, grow zones. If you understand, you're growing food or vegetables or fruits, they have grow zones that some different grow zones are going to be different times, and certain species grow or shade and on, and all these, so these companies specialize. And I think territorial is the best that I have found. Maybe I'm biased because I live in Oregon, like I do, like, Mountain House. I eat it, eating it here live on the stream. But this company really hardens and specializes in the hardening of their seeds for these weather climates. And these are very important if you want success And then you get into somebody like True Leaf Market, who you're talking about microgreens, and you want you want 100%, success of a tray full of every one of them sprouts. When you start getting these quality companies that have this type quality of seeds, you're going back to some of these old ways, brothers, sisters. Again, these things were tried and tested, and so I want to try to get you some of the best that I know, that are using, again, this is a process to take to grow these seeds. You're not just buying seeds because, like, oh, we got some of these best ones available or on sale now, buy now. These seeds have been hardened for years and years, grown by growers in these grow zones to try to keep these genetics as hardened as they can too. So that's really important to me, and I really give just a massive shout out to Territorial Seed Company. It is based here out of Oregon and have, as far as I'm concerned, the best seeds. I don't think there's any seed company that does compete with the continual quality that they continue to harden their seeds. So I've done my research a lot. You know me, guys, I'm a freaking maniac when it comes to doing research on something. But when I look for quality, I look not only for my understanding, but other people. And I mean, maybe I got a little more again because I'm here in Oregon, a little more access. But if you look around, I think you'll find that you're going to have a hard time competing with the quality, because they deal with seeds everywhere on in every continent. And so you're not just buying seeds for your area too. Normally, if you'll look at some of their seeds, they have seeds for certain, again, climates. So look into the company. They're not cheap seeds like Blurpee or Burpee or what are these Walmart seeds. They're a little more expensive, but they're not that much more, because you can reseed every one of these. I don't know if anybody in here is on a fixed income. Maybe they get something like food stamps or assistance or something. Don't be prideful. There's a company called Augustin Farms, and you can find these in some of your places like back east. I think you guys in like Piggly Wigglies and some of these other, Kroger and things like out here in Safeway and Walmarts. They sell the brand called Augustin Farm. You can buy that on your assistance card and whatever. Don't If you qualify, get some food. Don't starve. And actually, you can buy those seed vaults. They have a seed vault that has, I don't know, it's nearly how much food is in it. I've showed it here on the live stream. It's like 2 tons of food, and they're heirloom seeds. They are heirloom seeds, and you can replant those year after year after year after year. So there are ways to get access to somewhere decent. Augustin Farm's not the best, but I have grown that food. I've eaten it and reseeded it and tried to harden some of that stuff before because I've dealt with it and was familiar with it and had. But territorial is what I vault, put away for later, do enjoy growing. It's, again, True Leaf Market. I really, truly have had massive success with growing microgreens from that company. And when you're talking about sprouting and, looking at your tray, and you just really all, you might have some at the end but they'll all sprout, at the last. That's probably because you just put too many in the tray, you didn't allow it enough room to breathe, but they do have a really good success. And they sell everything else too at True Leaf Market. And that's just, I'm a little more biased too, again, like I said, buying my other seeds, because I'm not saying that True Leaf doesn't have a great selection, and has a massive selection of amazing amount of seeds too, at True Leaf. So don't forget that other company too. And I want to just put it all on Territorial Seed Company here in Oregon, because they're another company that does bought and vaulted many of their seeds. And I would, again, just on that note, because it's something, thanks for asking. I don't mind the interruption here. You go to it's going to get spring. Hopefully things won't bust and break and the whole system come unloaded and the wheels fall off and we go off the end of the cliff and we already hit the ground. I don't know. We're getting pretty close, because I feel like Wiley Cody, we've already gone off cliffs and we're already going down. But maybe it's a ways down, If we do make it the spring and you go out and you see people in their garage sales and they have those cheap seeds, buy them and trade them. Because I want to talk about seeds and seed vaults and things like that too, because I don't think a lot of these preparedness channels and bloggers and things like that are talking about this in a real sense. I do like David. He's been working with another gentleman who talks a lot about biblical things. It's like Eden's Garden or something like that. Yes, just be careful, Don. Though, be careful, because it's going to do that. It's going to get that spring, and it's going to re-rock. Like we got 5 inches, 6 inches of snow on the ground out here, and I feel like it's going to do that. We're going to get early. It's going to fake out all these, blooms, and it's going to come and freeze it again, and it's over. And then we're not going to get our bloom. It's going to be hard. We're in a minute, so don't forget. But harden anything, like that's what I'm trying to get you to cover everything now. Harden it for hail and put it under a cover now. And it needs a little more shade under this white sun, anyways. Just a different way. We got to adapt and overcome, Yes, please remember that. Please, I don't want to see people. It happens. It happens, man. People, out here where I live, it hard freezes in the summer. At least one every month. At least one day a month, normally. Oh, my guy. So my guy just came and lay down with Dad. He's been so lucky. Oh, love him, guy. Did you get a big old drink of water? Come drool on the Dad. So, unless you really got a good spot, buy these seeds up, brother, sister, because these Walmarts, whatever they are, you'll use them for trade items. They'll be great items to trade people with. So although I don't recommend growing food that doesn't, or a seed that you can plant and grow more seeds with, I do think people will take them on a trade. On that note, you might get familiar with what the term food forest is. Has anybody heard the term food forest? Food forest. People are going to take food in rows. If you're going to think you're going to grow food in a row, they're going to know what that is, and they're going to eat it and take it. So this whole idea of gardening, I think you're being oversold a little bit. Kind of I don't see you very successful being able to protect something, that's going to take you months to grow and be successful to bring to a completion to where it's ripened enough, or it's going to be hard to protect that, especially if you grow it in rows. So I want to try to bring this to light because I don't think a lot of people talk about this. I want to make you familiar with what's called a food forest, and this is where you plant these things, and there's many ways to plant a lot of things that you can eat that are high nutrient dense, vitamin dense, that don't look like things you might not see or under recognize. And these are things you still need to plant and around, and and random. There are others that when you plant these food forests, little other species thrive, a symbiotic relationship off the other, and they cause the other to thrive. One maybe will give a shade, one gives the other, it's like an anemone and a clownfish that have that symbiotic relationship. One works off the other. We're supposed to be like that with each other, brothers, sisters. Like, man, I'm having a hard time with this right eye. It's just been today. It's been a hard day for the eye. But so do we need to, the colors? Yeah, well, I mean, I think a wide variety is very important. Thanks for coming in again. If you look at the shape of foods, it's shaped for the organ or body part that you're supposed to. Color is important, obviously, but definitely balanced. I think some people shy away from things like green, or we really shy away from things these days that don't taste good in our mouth. Things like that are bitter. and like horseradish and some of these tartany and hard, we getting so used to this sweet and easy flavor that we forget that a lot of these things that we could eat or might, might not have the that sweet flavor or things, but it serves a purpose for our body too. So look into some of these things too for diet are really important, that we just leave out our diet, things we just forget to eat, don't eat, because it's just not, who's going to put some horseradish on sauce? That don't taste good. Well, maybe you should put a little bit on there anyways and just eat it, but I don't think you're going to be successful growing a garden. I don't think you're going to have the time. I don't think you're going to be able to protect it. I don't think the weather's going to be conducive to grow food. You got enough people in your army now to protect that food and make sure nobody comes and takes it from you. You think the area you're in safe is to be safe when things maybe continue to break down a little further than they kind of already are right now? We're at war. Hello. Look at this. Living the dream, guys. Living the American dream. So, you got to beat this stinky muskrat system with this digital AI and track and trace and all this nonsense, guys. Start being your own, automated system and autonomous, self-driven by not by some drive-through, but drive yourself to put your hands in the soil and start planting food for yourself and start growing your own, livestock. Cut these chains off, cut them off. They want you to get into their, credit scoring system where they can regulate your toaster or your refrigerator now. Your refrigerator talks to the NSA and you've been drinking too many beers. You took too many beers out and you're only allowed to have 6 beers in there now a month. And if you take more than one out every day, you're going to they'll shut your toaster off. So you can't have your McMuffin in the morning and your beer. So, and you're going to have to be regulated for your social. You can't take the bus anymore because you have that second beer. And since you've done that, that's actually lowered your credit score. So you can't hang out with these people you're hanging out with now. Your credit score is lower. So if anybody hangs out with you with that credit score, they run their risk of their credit score being lowered. So now you're hey, no more public transportation. Maybe it wasn't a beer. Maybe you didn't lick the government's boot and keep your power down to keep your meter at 70. And you decided you were just going to say the hell with it. I'm cold. I'm going to make it 75 in here. I want to be warm. And now you're stuck in 60 degrees you socially or credit. You're going to digitally shut your count off now, and your toaster and your microwave are definitely in cahoots with your smart meter, and they're all reporting to the NSA. So enjoy your social credit score, because if you do this, then you'll be a good. If you'll lick their boot and you drink your one beer, or you do your little licking of the boot, they'll give you extras, and maybe it'll let you drink 2 beers. And you can still take public transportation, but you got to turn somebody in for drinking a beer. Oh, you got a bad carbon footprint because there's carbonation and carbonic acid, and you farted. That's it. You farted again, didn't you, Lion? I'm gonna have to strap a bubble to your back like a cow and regulate you. You've been socially credit scored. No more farting in America, brothers, sisters. You're gonna have to hold it in. It's for the good of the people. I don't care. 49% of you shut up and hold it. 51% of the people voted. This is America. Every walk around. 51%. Shut up, wear your bubble backpack. Bubble boy. That's the new rule in America. Trump said you can't fart in America, or he's coming to your house to take over because of the climate footprint that it's leaving. You're putting Mr. Thunberg is in cahoots with Mr. Trump now, and they're regulating your farts. You thought it was bad? Hey, they're coming for your farts. CO2 and carbonic acid. You better stop making bong hits. No more bong hits for you. Somebody's been taking bong hits in here. That one didn't. Too much soda or too many bong hits? What is it? You tell me. You're over there tooting like B flat. Now you're being socially credit scored. Something you're in taking a lot of air, carbonic acid or something. I don't know. You got like Cheech and Chong. Sometimes I know some people who are heavily on the medicinals. They might have a little extra because they're always breathing in that chooching on the glass, whatever. It is what, hey, I don't want to hear it. Keep it to yourself. How will they know? Oh, they've got Elon up there. You're going to leave a print behind you. Hey, they do that camera. They've got this guy. And I know they can do this. And I looked at this and I thought this is a meme. This is fake. This can't be real. They've got a camera that can... You can point, and when you pass gas, it definitely can see the footprint of, obviously there's something coming out of your backside, guys. I didn't mean to get on this, but Trump says you can't fart in America, so you're going to have to figure out how to hold it in. I don't want to hear it. Shut up. Keep it to yourself. Be quiet. No more B flats. I don't want to keep your horn and tooting and rootin' tooting. You better stop eating beans. They're going to outlaw beans too. Beans make us fart, so more you eat them, more you toot. More you toot, the better you feel. So, anyways, all right. I'm just saying, guys. Wouldn't that be? I mean, they're going to come up with some silly stuff like that next. I'm seriously. But if they did that, wouldn't it be crazy? They could do that, though. 51% of the people said you can't fart in America anymore. You're going to have to wear a bubble backpack because of your carbon footprint, man. We can't have it. You have to do this for the cause, guys. This is for America. Do it for your fellow. Ask not what you can. Put it on, Bubble Boy. Oh, this is democracy, brothers and sisters. It's called mob rule, man. We got to make this into a meme. This good, yeah. Hey, you better get your gas mask on. Like Taco Bell's going out of business. Oh man, the government's like, we heard that. Wah, wah, wah. There goes your credit score. Yep. All right. That's too much, guys. That's good. Hey, that's good entertainment, but that could really be that could be the government could do whatever the hell they want. Now, I wouldn't put nothing past this independent they just stand alone. They just do what they want. They don't care. You're a fly. You're a number. You're a cow with a backpack on your back, Bubble Boy. I don't know. He's trying. He doesn't. Dude, scoot over there. Okay. So we've got Toggy. He's kneading on him. So, but isn't that pretty pathetic, guys? That people would think that 49% of the populace doesn't have a voice. Shut up, 49%. You don't get a voice. If you make any, I don't want to hear anything out of you. Hey, two cheeks to the same hole. That thing behind your back's always talking smack. Seriously, it's just. How could they allow democracy? This was never a democracy. Yes, and you can come up, if you just keep it to yourself and you report your neighbors for being their DB level, their B flat is too much, you can become a citizen of the higher universal, I don't know what they would do to the. They want you to turn in your neighbors. Is what all this is about ready to be. They did a dry run on this too. Let's be pretty serious about this. That's kind of what the whole Vidco thing was. Remember the whole, your mask isn't up on your nose, sir. And I didn't really like none of that. Some of those people didn't want to do that. They didn't like that. They didn't like doing that to people, but they needed to do their job. And I'm not talking about the people that were the Karens about it. Because people all got stupid about it, right? Remember? Carry that same B flat. No, I think it would be just. All right, never mind. Oof. All right, yeah. Bunch of hot air. No, I hear you. Isn't that strange that now look, let's talk about this too. Seriously, I want to have this conversation because I was really thinking about this a lot. It's been weighing on my heart, and I can't do this, like I said, I don't mean to go from one thing to the other, but the Hispanic population's in trouble, guys. Here, they eat a lot of beans, right? They eat a lot of beans. So I'm concerned, and for myself, guys, because I eat tacos and burritos every day. So I think I'm going to have to be a bubble boy. Okay, no, all right, but guys, they have been letting these people come in for more than 2 administrations, 2 to 3 administrations, 2 to 3 administrations. They've been letting these people come in here, flying them in here. Come on, who has subscribed to Monkeyworks? Who follows the channel Monkeyworks? Anybody subscriber to? He uses the Spyglass app, and he tracks all these planes. Yeah, I know you guys are. And they appreciate it. It's good. We need to do that every once in a while. That it's better out than in, guys. Better out than in. Don't listen to that crap. So I'm talking shit behind your back again. So, I'm just beside myself, guys, because if you haven't watched Monkeyworks, he has been showing you guys that not only have they been coming across the border, they have been flying these people in here. What's going on, O Vomit? Man, guys, you're gonna get oh, well, the chef, no doubt, huh? B flat. Oh, never mind. All right, stop it. I can't. Well, you just came down 2 credit scores there. Okay. Monkeyworks is a blogger, prior military veteran, and he uses many apps. One of the biggest apps he uses is the Spyglass app to track the planes coming into the United States and all around the world. So these are all on these apps, and he's been showing for quite some time, guys, that this has been going on and that the government has been doing this. Now, all this, nefarious, we're gonna fly them all in so they can all vote for Joe Biden didn't work out like they said. And that was the whole idea that they kept saying. Oh, they're flying them in here so they can vote. They're flying them in here so they can vote, right? So they can vote for Biden so he can, he can put the Biden again and get the Biden and get the booster and the booster and the booster and the Biden, the booster, the Biden. They had to play the skip card so Trump could be 47 so he could be 9/11. It's all going by the script. Mr. Warp Speed, Mr. Apollyon, bring over the disease, cure the disease, and Warp Speed. Now in 48 hours, they're going to cure your cancer, and the government loves you with this mRNA jab, AI jab. Mr. Muskrat is on the Muskrat, sticky rat. So nobody likes a rat. Nobody, especially if you get put in a cell. Rats are like snitches. They end up with stitches or in ditches or act like, never mind. So anyways, It's just a little bit, yeah, nobody likes a rat. See, thanks again. Nobody likes a rat, guys. Come on. I mean, you're a sellout, you freaking snitch, you know? What about the pizza rat? Yeah. Oh, pizza rat. Or are we talking about Billary or Mr. Chump himself that was going to have Miss Billary with the gate and all of her pizza products and her, parties or panda parties and all this? They're Diddy, is what they are. Wrong oil, bath oil, wrong party, so there's too many of them. I know which one. The other one is, what's that? He's that, is that Robert Manuel? Who was during that time? He's part of that stinky old vomit administration. 44. Oh, well, would you, if you do the portions, Ivan could the terrible, you can easily decode that line. I've already told you that. That's not hard to do. That's part of the qualifications. That's what's so crazy of him doing that right now. Yeah. Adam's apple, much? Some of these are the same my office. Oh, nice. Beverly Hills Cops. Man, that was that was a good one. I don't like him anymore, but George, old George Sr., stay out of the bushes. Didn't they warn you? Didn't I warn you? How long ago did I warn you to stay out of the bushes? They gave you Bush Jr. Remember, more people voted for Al Gore, the number one ever elect. People voted for Al Gore, and they gave you baby Bush. Okay, but hear me out, though. Tell me the difference. Remember, lying, I'm a prior credible witness and a prior pig cop myself. I can testify in open court as a credible witness because I could not put my hands on a woman when I was a pig. I had to call in a backup officers, do a frisk or a pat down search. I could not search a woman. I could. That was part of the way it was. I'm just that old of a pig. You hear that? I think it's starting to rain out there, or we'll get some more snow out there or something. But now they have changed that, and a man can stick his hands down a woman's pants or vice versa or whatever. It's ridiculous. I don't agree with that at all. But there are many features. Again, I'm a military veteran, so in the military, in physical training, PT, you have physical training, you have a physical standard for women, and I used to be a pig, a policy officer. No, I was a prior cop, commerce cop, SWAT, special weapons and tactics, trained by Metro LAPD in Hawaii under all my underground certification, interest training, all the reconstructive training at the Highway Patrol Academy on traffic crash reconstruction, done all my whatever. I'm a tyrant as a pig in the military. 95 Bravo, done all this stuff. Been on the neck, worn a combat and a military, whatever. In law enforcement, when I was, in law, they still wore a badge, and freaking, like I said, you couldn't do a man couldn't put his hand on a woman. And so I don't agree with what I did, but they don't do that now. Oh, you're so weird. So, it doesn't make sense to me how far that this has gone, and people do not speak up about how that we have gone so far from the original way, of doing things, that I was certified in how to identify such things as mental illness. Now these cops will dump a clip if you don't listen to them. They respect my authority. They've been militarized. I tried to warn of this when I was in the 90s in law enforcement, that this was going to come. They were going to start doing this. People were going to take this, this ability to say you didn't follow a lawful order when you're not. It's not even lawful. All crimes in America are crimes of commerce. You haven't committed a crime if there's no victim, and if there's no if it's repugnant to the Constitution, you're not supposed to be following them anyways. And anything that's a revised statute, nothing is happening under Title 18, which is only one location, place, and space in single in the United States, which is a corporation, America, and it's not under the Title 18 original adjudicated legislators, House, Congress, and Senate, executive, legislative, and judicial branches are part. Remember, the democratic process is part of our judicial process, the constitutional process, but we're not a democracy. Yeah, so you're not supposed to be following these things, and this is why we continue to suffer, because we'll follow these unconstitutional. There's a difference between being legal, something legal and lawful, but these people don't know, so they allow this to continue. In their own worlds, they think it's okay. They think cops are doing a good job, and forgotten that, remember, I was in law enforcement when I couldn't touch one, and if a man was dressed like a woman, I had to be able to identify that. It didn't matter. I still had to call in a backup, and just, hey, today it's getting, the lines have definitely been blurred, but we're portioned different. Women are portioned different. I can just see your pelvic bone alone, and I don't need, to see your skeletal structure. So if there's a different physical training standard in the military, me telling you that we're built differently, our structure, skeletal structure, shouldn't find that is alarming. That we're not built the same. Have you ever seen the shape of a woman? It's amazing. Father is just a master craftsman. And I'm sure a woman looks at a man's body and finds that in her eye. I'm not talking in like a sexual way, just the way that he designed woman, the way her hips are designed, the way her hips are wider than her shoulders, her hips open up so she can birth a child, her structure, her frame. She has not this big old head like we have 3 head heights. We have a full head height to our shoulder. We are definitely 8 head heights high. We're taller than a woman. We generally, again, we just don't have our shoulders. A woman's shoulders are not wider than her hips. A man is got a full head between my shoulder, the edge of my 45 as a law enforcement. That's called offset. This is that standard field sobriety. They take you out to 45 degrees. This is the mark at your parallel with your shoulder is about eye to your 45. That's the onset prior to 45 degrees. They're looking for this nystagmus in it, but that 45 degree mark is where this head. See, there's a whole nother head length. Woman is missing a whole head, half a head, on each side. She's 2.5 head length. Women don't have the head as of a man. Women don't have the same amount of heights. And then again, not every single time, but the hands are a very big tell. And this is something that there's a variance in hands, but you're going to find generally a man that has a higher, level of testosterone in his body. His ring finger. This is what people, they forget, that there's a difference between our hands. If you ask your wife to hold her hand out, I'm not sure if you've seen what I'm talking about, see how this finger here, my ring finger, my pointer finger, see how far down this is? My pointer finger's down here. Where'd all my finger look like somebody cut off my finger? Look at that. See that? A woman's hand doesn't look like that. A man's hand can look like a woman's hand. That doesn't make him a woman. I can portion his shoulders. I can portion his head. I can see you running away from me. I don't need to see your bearded face. I don't need to see, I can count your head heights. I can look at your shoulders. I can look at your hips. I can tell you're 7, you're 8. A man has 8 head heights from the top of his head to the bottom of his foot. So this is where, again, it's not hard to tell, brothers, sisters. So if you do these things, men can have 3 heads on their shoulders, women are 2 heads or less. Well, no, that's not it, Annie. That's not correct. Generally 3 head heights. You're going to find a man is always going to have a full head to the sides. Women have about 2.5 head heights. They lack about a half a head length. Now, some can have smaller too, because women have a smaller frame. I mean, women go all the way down to 50 pounds, you know. Some Asian women tend to have a smaller frame in that, you know, I'm not trying to group any, but absolutely. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't eat bacon. No, thank you. I don't eat pork. But about 2.5 is about the average on a woman. She's definitely going to be missing a half a head length. You'll be able to see it down to 2, like what you said. So, but yeah, it can be. Generally, a guy is very seldom you're going to see a guy that doesn't have a, you know, you could look at, especially think if somebody's running away from you, you don't need to see the face. You don't need to see the face. You're looking at the shoulders. You're looking at how the top of the head to the bottom of the foot. You're looking at these hips, you know, you're looking at the actual head height from the shoulder length to there's all these things from somebody going away from you. And you can say, no, I know that was a man. That was a man, you know, and I can definitely, I just ate chicken tacos. Oh man, I want some chicken tacos. I want some carne asada tacos. I had some burritos before I came on the stream. So, but let's get back to what we're saying here. Lion was in here and asked the question. So just take Ivan the Terrible, and do the okay, well, that's how it's going to go down, though, Kinetic. And I told you this is the dragon did this. Well, see what I'm saying? So just take that portion, and then you won't be lied to. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to tell if that's a man or a woman. So, and if you notice, all these first ladies, they wear all this high collar, all this. They have the best makeup artist. So, just like I said, just, you know, people are going to try to be deceitful about this, but you know, it's not. You can't hide this. Like, you're not old enough to remember this slogan, and I'm not downing you, Lion, because you're a smart, very smart man. But they used to have this slogan called Captain Crunch, and it said, if you can't get away with the crunch, because it'll scrape the roof of your mouth off, because the crunch always gives you away. No, but anyway, it's kind of a thing, you know, because it was the slow. But this is they're not going to hide this. It's like they're just, you know, it's like somebody eating, you know, pretzels next to you. No, I know I have so many old slogans that I have to remember sometimes when I say them. About a quarter or a third or a fraction of the room even understands what I just said, because I just used some slogan off of, you know, like Mikey likes it or something like that. There we go. That's a good way to put it. Well, I don't know if you say love. Yeah, I love. Yeah. Sorry, Donald. Why am I even trying to correct that? That's correct. You did. You love thy neighbor like that. Love thy neighbor like that. Love thyself. Or Musk or Creed perfume. Cool water. Polo. Nice. No, they can't do that. Oh, did somebody have an ace rent? Oh, hold on, I could go back there. Let's see what. Oh, I didn't forget. Oh, okay, yeah. I forgot what that. What was that? That. I remember that being said on the movie, but I can't remember what where that part comes from. For some reason, I got some other kind of movie in my head with the something else that says use that term, but it wasn't a nice thing when they used that term Finkelstein kid or whatever that was. I don't know whether it was some other. I'm told my brain is on something else. So, but either way. We have to expose the muskrat because he's got the Tesla tech, and he's the one who's going to be in cahoots with Mr. Apollo, bringing in this new warp speed AI jab. And we're going to March after February, and March is the god of war. So Mars, so be ready. They're going to this sky ritual, guys, they're gaslighting everybody. You're being gaslighted big time. You know, the Doge is what I already exposed, and that's what I should have been talking about. That's fine. This is the wolf. So continue to watch for anything that's a wolf, god, dog, Doge, e-god, e-coin, meme coin, all ships rise and rising tide. There's all this is a ritual, and this I already gave this channel the sent this warning out well ahead of time about February on how they would do this already, and then pump chump dump coin. What a freaking piece of shit, dude. I rebuke Donald Trump for doing that. You know I don't like him for a lot of reasons. I really don't like the man for many reasons, and I have the reasons, and I think they're very clear. But what he did with his coin, his meme coin, is proof that the man is ruthless. He's a savage. He's an absolute savage for the banksters. He is a savage. He can't sin. He's the chosen one. Remember, he's going to invent a microscopic line of camels. He's sparing no expense. So I have no love for this man. I really don't. I know that Father and I have talked about this so many times, and I've tried to ask him to let me leave it alone a little bit more, but he won't stop this connection with this apostate, man of a man who, signals the coming of the seventh king and mocks, the whole world, and goes around the whole world too. I mean, this dude does this in a space that you guys remember everywhere he goes. Oh, I couldn't come to the NATO, man. I thought a little too early to come there, but all this. Oh man, it's just I'll be glad when it's over, brothers, sisters. I really will, and I'm not going to sit there and we're just getting started. Remember, we're days into this shit, and it is just unreal how far this is already unwound. So I'm blown away, and I am also not at all surprised, on some of these, So if you looked at all at today, they've got this, liberal left side saying Donald Trump, there's some rogue portion of the government, some unelected official, Elon Musk, that's created this whatever thing and is allowed he's a plant. He's part of this poll. I rebuke John F. Kennedy. I don't buy none of that BS nonsense. Look at Jacqueline and Onassis. Look at the portions on that. Do the portions on Jacqueline. Jack, Mr. Me off. Stop playing games with me. Go to your hub, porn somewhere, or play chain hub, or go somewhere else. I'm not doing it. Oh, yeah, that far back. Go do the portions. I don't want to hear it. So it's all a big front. It's all a big game too. Oh, he was going to turn in and he was going to tell everybody about the Fed. It's all a big front. But there's nothing about that man that all I see is he reminds me of George Bush Sr. That's all I can say. When I look in his eyes, he's just sheer. I don't really have any. He's a politician, so I don't trust anybody. Anytime you want to know if a politician's mouth is moving, he's lying. So he's one of them he's, many and tick, meaning bloodsuckers. He's in that game and supports this system, doesn't support the constitutional right, and does not expose that this is a corporation. And like I said, if Mr. Apollyon Sun God didn't, do what he did and expose this, and he'd be exposing himself. Not like flashing anybody, but I'm going to shut the IRS down and audit the Fed crap again and build the wall talk and all this. It's the same thing. It's the same, same game. They keep playing on everybody, and people are too foolish to, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So they're going to go ahead and push the snowball down the hill out and tell everybody get out of the way again, and nobody will get out of the way, and they'll just laugh with their karmatic gods because they don't believe in a higher power. They think if they tell you to get out of the way and you don't move, and they put it in the stupid half bubble show, and you weren't smart, you were just too bad. You were told. Well, we put it in music, we put it in children's television, animation, we put it in adult cartoons, Adult Swim, we put it in the music. We did it since, I told you, they've been doing this since we were young. They've been doing it for thousands of years. They ride these celestial cycles. You don't think how come 8 families hold 50% of near wealth on this rock and have for thousands of years? The same 8 near all these big, whatever, they got some shadow, but they all work in the same, all against the people now. And everybody that I, see around me is like, oh, I love this lollipop, red liquor, phallic, lover, Polyon, decorates his house with the sun god. Red flag gun law, man. Take him first, right? Prosecute later. So I'm just again, I'm appalled at a nation gone rogue against its own people. We're not even helping each other out as a nation. The citizens have gone rogue against each other. They have, by just shutting up and allowing the government to just crush them. There's never been a not even Rome. They had red team, blue team in Rome, but they didn't have this kind of taxation. There's never been a nation to go out in 50 years, just strangle, plus every nation said, you're going to pay for our oil. If not, we're going to kick your ass. And we're going to send military veterans like me to go do it. And you don't like it, I don't want to hear it. We're going to kill your kids and your women too, not just your battle dress 18 to 30 best of your country. You're going to send to war. We're going to kill them, but we're going to make sure there's people that are innocent casualty. Do you know, 90s, okay? That's my tire of services during this storm, Desert Shield storm. All this is first part, and that's all, Iraqi freedom. Do you know how many Iraqi women and children were killed during that operation? There were not just one. Remember shock and all, Bush, all this. Women and children. I didn't say battle dress uniform, military fatigue. How many women and children lost their lives? Didn't sign up for a war. So I don't support this. And anybody who does, because, so we can be free here in America, shut the fuck up. You stood on an X. You put your face diaper. You got a profile picture with a face diaper on. It's just it's an apostasy, man. That's, choice. What about, no, we don't want to pay for your oil, United States. We don't want to be a part of Greenland. Canada does not want to be America. Canada does not want to be the 51st state. Shut the fuck up, Donald Trump. You're an idiot. Somebody needs to shut that man down quickly. And I'm not talking about taking his physical life, but it won't. He'll continue to reign. He'll pull this nation back down he'll pull Christ down from the cross. He'll take you back under the 7 Noahide laws. and you'll stand around and just shut up about it, and you'll just love it. You'll eat the bugs, and you'll eat food printed by the mile. You will. This is part of this, part of the process. We got to make it all America so we can turn it over to China, right? Give authority over to the dragon, just like it says in Scripture. He's playing his part. Are you doing yours? There's no such thing as luck, Blind. You know that, David. There's no luck on this rock. Chinese are idiots. They're Buddha, all that nonsense, all this idiocracy with your dragon worship. Snakes, wooden snake, year of the snake. Right now, New Year's. Fuck you, China. You're an idiot. They know. April Fools. Big Mac, large order of fries, strawberry shake, apple pie. Don't make me go Eddie Murphy on you. Seriously, I'm tired of this crap. This is stupid. I apologize for the cursing again. I'm just a little unwound here today. So try to be better tomorrow, man, if I can. Already tripped over that. So I'm tired of that. That's what I'm saying. Fuck the Chinese. They know this shit in the middle of the winter, New Year's, spring, wooden snake. Kiss my, yeah. Listen here, Pinocchio. You keep your nose to yourself and your hands inside the, ride until the ride has come to a complete stop. You need to stop fooling yourself and playing your nose is growing over here. You're lying to yourself. So go stick your nose in somebody else's business. Stay the about my business. Okay, hold on. I do need to check the fire. Thank you for the best moderators on. Oh yeah, we're down there to the bottom of the pile. Uh-oh. Burnt me a lot of wood today. David, do you know about the society? Yeah, that's where the you know about the soy boys over there. My son's the one that turned me on to this triple, 1, 2, 3, come on by so you can try. This was a, who said that earlier? Anxiety said that, or no? Hey, that wasn't anxiety. It was kinetic. Oh, apologize. Donald's like, what the? My bad. You already mentioned it. So, that they created this. He's the one who said they did this. My son, he's the one who's like, hey, Dad, this is created by the dragon. They brought. I said, well, this is done before time of Rome and all this before. I mean, come on, we've had. He's like, well, I know, but go research this. He gave me a lead, and I was like, wow. So what? Kinetic mentioned, because I kind of got off on this, and I'm going to check on this fire in a minute. Is that this was brought in here because this wasn't accepted in the 70s. You could dress like a clown, and you could do that all you wanted, and nobody gave a rat's ass if you wanted to dress up like some kind of circus idiot and start rearranging your parts and pieces, and just keep it out of the no public display of affection. I already talked to you. A man and a woman weren't even allowed to do this in public. No, it was called PDA. So you weren't allowed to be a clown, and you were definitely not allowed to do. You couldn't even if a man saw another man smooching, they beat. That was called a bash, a monster mash. As long as it wasn't a graveyard smash, the cops didn't say anything. I have to talk around the algorithm, but that's the way it was, speaking historically. Nope, nobody cared. Nobody did anything about it. It was actually kind of incentivized. Don't let the children see it. Shay, get a room, assholes. Damn, man. Lady, you guys freaking get off each other. There's children in public here. It was called PDA, and it was frowned on. So you sure in the hell couldn't walk around with somebody's part sewed on your forehead and be accepted in society. You get bashed like a monster mash. Hopefully you didn't go to the ER, and then nobody would say anything. Remember, it was the closet. Keep it. Remember the term coming out? That's where it came from. Remember what Andrew Dice say? You want special rights to give you 10% off of petroleum in a jelly jar, and you can get back in the, keep your sold sign. I don't care. Stop advertising how many closets are in your house. We don't want to hear how many. Keep it in the closet. Right? All that. Remember all that? No, you don't, huh? because these people love this. They did this because of, this is by design. That's what I'm saying. Look how far we've come from something wasn't even where a man and a woman couldn't even, a child wouldn't even see, allowed to be able to see these things of sex. So that's where this went. And I don't know of another blogger that's uncovered this. And I told you how this happened by scissor, by man telling his wife, girlfriend that they do this, and you wouldn't be, I don't know if you could say, I think that's a safe term because today it's so weird, but well, she's not a lesbian or she's not gay because they're just kissing because they're just having fun and they only did it for tonight and we got a little drunk and I just wanted to watch, honey. So we have your girlfriend over and have a scissor party and paper cut out and she's like, no way. So remember that? She's like, well, if you'll have some sausage and eat a kielbasa, and you're like, no way. I don't eat pork. No, thank you. She's like, well, I'm not having any paper cutout parties with my girlfriend or my friend if you don't. But then you had another one. You had another beer and she had another beer and then you talked her into it. And next thing you know, you're like, well, honey, don't worry about it. You're not gay. It was fun. Thanks. And then it's just acceptable. And next thing you know, it was Two Girls Gone Wild. I couldn't remember the other next song was the cocktail. Two Girls Gone Wild. Yep. We were fast forward, and I'll go back. I need to check this fire. That's what it was. Two Girls Gone Wild. Remember? And it was like, oh, well, it's okay. They're just, yep. See, Lion knows what I'm talking about. And then it was just, well, it's okay. Bob and Slob and Knob and whatever, Jack and Bob and not Adam and Eve, but Adam and Steve. And it's okay. Be nice. Tolerance. Tolerate it. Shut up. So, hey, I'm serious, guys. It's crazy how fast. Hey, look, Lion's in here, and Lion's not even old enough to know that. No, Annie, I told you I don't eat pork. Thank you. Remember? And he said, well, if you're not trying it, I'm not trying it. Isn't that crazy how fast we went from something like that to, yeah, it's okay to see clowns in public and the children can see this stuff. Children can see sex. That's where this went. Don't forget where I was going with this whole thing, because it eventually was okay for a child to see a child PDA to now they're just full-born, those tightrope walkers, like they don't even have fucking playgrounds at McDonald's anymore, man. Looks like a damn prison in those places. I ain't even been there forever, but I'm telling you, they were just, forget about the kids. Fuck you, Grimace and all this bullshit and Hamburglar. That's what frickin' Trump's Ivan looked like, the Hamburglar, if you ask me. Ivan looked like the hamburger or Mafia or something like that. Did she not during the inauguration look like the Hamburglar? I'm not wrong. Am I the only one thought she looked like the Hamburglar? He, she, whatever the hell that is. Ivan the Terrible. I don't care. Jimmy Crackcorn. I can say whatever. I don't know. I'm not certain. I'm just floating out at a theory. It's all theory. Everything we're saying in here is CIA front conspiracy theory. We're just working for the government, doing the conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theory. So. Okay, well, I thought she looked like the Hamburglar, so that's just my opinion. Everybody's got one, two, cheeks. Listen here, Bubble Boy. Bubble Boy. Oh, man, I'm going to have to use some more wood, guys. Yeah. I might have to go get me some more wood. All right. You guys are definitely Aerosmith. Dude looks like a lady. Look like a hamburger. If anybody in here while I'm gone, I'm going to go for a minute, is heard farting in here, and passing any kind of flatulence will be fined profusely, and your credit score will be dropped. So keep it to yourself. If I have to come in here with backpacks, like, bug out bags and strap you, please. All right. Don't start no bubble talking here about keep it to yourself, guys. All right, yeah. I'm going to go find myself some more firewood for the wood stove to make through the night here. Probably should have brought some. I burnt more wood today than I thought. Yeah. I'm telling you guys, I cannot believe you guys, seriously, and I don't mean to go there, but they're going to go back in history, because we're going to come back and talk about this, the way they flip the script on this stuff, and say they put freaking backpacks on the cows because they were farting because of flatulence. This nation thought they were so advanced that they put backpack fart catchers on the cows. We're so advanced, guys. We are the most advanced civilization to ever walk this rock, by far superior. We backpack our cows, to make sure that the this is yes. Oh my God, did you see? Oh. That was hard to watch, Lion. That is hard to watch. That is hard. You see, you freaking level. I love animals. My animals are everything. I raise animals. I'm a farmer, so animals mean everything. Most of my animals, they don't lie, cheat, or steal from me anything. They don't break my heart. They're very loyal and treat me most better than most people. I can't believe, because I only saw that like 5 or 6 months ago, and man, when I saw that, I almost got up and I'm serious. The dude that hurt me so much, and I'm not saying it. It sent a thought in my head. I said, I've seen everything I need to see. I need to go now. I can't be here anymore in this place. If they're going to do this to these animals, and everybody's just going to stand around, and it wrecked me. And as you can see, I'm still a mess thinking about it. I just can't get over it. If you go back to the stream, they put something into these cows to they get them like an IV, basically insert through their intravenous through their stomach to manipulate their diet, so they less flatulence and oh my God! All right, I can't go talk to. All right, there you. Please, I can't think about it. Some things are necessary, but some things are just so over the top that I don't know how these things get to the point that we are allowed these things to happen to our animals. It's one thing. We're supposed to be good stewards. It's one thing to treat each other like shit, brothers and sisters, because we're we're humans, and we can defend ourselves somewhat. A dog bites you because dogs don't bite anybody in the wild. They're only protecting themselves, Animals are taught domestication. I do 100% believe in domestication of animals, taking them out of the food chain. They live a lot more longer life. Most animals die by malnutrition or a horrible death by another animal. So I'm not into, keeping everything wild and not have animal domestication. If you know how to take care of your animals, you can do in many cases, providing them a whole better, as hard as that is to believe, than they could in their own organic. They're not going to die a horrible death. They're going to eat a consistent diet. If you are a good animal, I know a good animal husbandry and equine, if you know horses or whatever, animal you choose to take on. But most people shouldn't even own a goldfish, to be honest with you, brothers and sisters. So we're supposed to be good stewards of the earth, and this animals or we were given dominion, reign over these animals for a reason. And so when I see somebody inhumanely do something, as far as what, and it's okay to mention it because it was just it's just hard to watch. What they have done is just far beyond anything that I in my eyes could have ever. And I've seen some horrible things, obviously, but this is not humane. This is far, the agenda driven behind this is like I said, it caused me to not rage, but to go the opposite way, to go, I don't want to be here. I need to go now, and I need to not, or I just can't, or we'll go the other way. And so I calmed myself and I prayed with Father, and, he showed me that this is part of this, it has to be this way. Again, once again, he always settles me with, that he creates evil. So shut up. So he's doing this because this has to be this way for a reason. It's reasons unknown to me. But when I see something like that, when people truly take things far by an agenda, political driven agenda, and then the animals pay the price, it's quite, like I said, the reason why I'm saying this one more time is that you and I, women, men, can defend ourselves. An animal can't. An animal can't defend itself at all. Not like that. I mean, it doesn't have that. It could bite you, it could do all things, it could take your life, but I'm saying it doesn't have that. So if it hurts you, it's because you've done something to it, probably more than likely. In most cases, animals don't have a, like I said, animals don't go to heaven. Dogs don't go to heaven because they don't have a soul. A dog can't sin. They don't need to face judgment. They don't have a soul. They come and stay on this rock just like we do. We face judgments and have a soul because we need to face judgments. That's why they say all dogs go to heaven. I'm just using this Disney reference that heaven is a judgment. Heaven is after this life. So dogs don't need to be judged. So a dog doesn't sin. And so I'm just using a dog as an example. A lot of the times if a dog has bitten you, it's because of something, the bad owner has done something to that dog. Generally in the wild, the dog's not just come up and rabbit and bite somebody. Like, that's not a dog's nature to attack something or something. If you ran or something, like any other, most animal species that eat another animal or a canine, it's because something will run away from it and it chases its food, and that's just what it knows. That's a bear does it, cats, a lot of these carnivorous type animals, the food runs, and if you animal to do the same thing, you're gonna, and I'm just giving you an instinct, for example, of how an animal might choose to, bite you, but that's because you're acting like food. Okay, anyways, let me get my fire here. But anyways, I appreciate people who take good animal husbandry. It's very important. My animals mean everything to me. And they're not above human species, but I tell you, they're a lot smarter than most humans that I do know. And they have much better instincts. And I have to say that I have the best dogs in the world, because my house got swatted. These dogs did such an awesome job. And you can hear me. I ate 4 to 5 tear gas canisters just for my dogs. I'm permanently scarred for life. Not by my eye, but for my dogs. I ate all that and I had to suffer. If I didn't have dogs in here, I could have walked right out of this house without having any of these issues. So I'd do it again 50 times. I'd eat 50 more tear gas canisters. CS can cut. You know what tear gas is? You know what? You don't want to breathe any of that. That shouldn't be breathing that. You don't want to breathe it. Should be breathing it for weeks and months, let alone. So anyways, I do it again for my dogs because they have been really good to me. So it's my guy and my kitties. Let's not forget my kitties. I'm laying over there with his boy. That's his brother Yasher boy. And my kitten boy. Oh, he's such a good guy. He's a good guy too. Yeah, I say animals are such amazing species. All right, gotta go get some wood. Gotta get some wood. Gotta go outside. Gotta get some firewood. Get enough to at least get through the night. We're gonna fill her back up mañana. Mañanas. You guys want to go outside, go buddy? Good boys. Go buddy. checking my sprout. They're starting to sprout. I'm sure if it was a little bit warmer out here and it wasn't winter, these things would go a little faster. But all right, set those back in there. Trying to get that rabbit again. Where they're trying to found it again. Boy, let's go out there. They got something cornered out there. Puppies. Shit. Trade-off lights there. Get some more wood going here. All right, look at that. Took off. Thank you. Thank you for good dry firewood. Yeah. All right. Muss. Keep going, I think so. Maybe not. It'll do its thing. Let's throw some from here right there. Where's the lighter? Oh, watch, you got a puff of smoke. Oh, we got that damper. Watch it. Oop, smoke coming out. Turn the damper. All right. There we go. She's clear now. Okay. All right, we're back. Let's turn this. Get that out of the word here. Okay, well, how we doing? We're at war. Welcome to World War III. We're documentation of the fall of the civilization cycle. They're riding the cycle of the people, or the surfboard, and they're just pushing them around. Just, yeah, you ever surf? Go out in the ocean, just cutting it up. So, not war in 30 days, Lane. We're already at war. Stop fooling yourself. And you're a smart young man, but this is all part. The war has already been on for your mind and your dollar and your enslavement by that dollar and many other ways. You have a whole different, and we're all in this together. I do like so much. If you watch Canadian Prepper's blog again today, he really groups up Canada as part of the United. I literally went to like an emergency call mode on my phone. I don't have much light out here, so hold on. I'll get us. Well, I have light from above 9.5 feet in the air. So maybe what were we talking about? What didn't they like there? Why they dumped that stream? So I don't know what happened there. I had a full hard reset my phone. So what the conversation, they apparently don't want you to doge EGOD. Is that it? Is there, because I actually went into some of my content creator and even see the stream as being, and I thought it wasn't on here, but maybe it was we were farting, too much flatulence, too much CO2 in the atmosphere. You guys are getting the channel banned. Stop passing gas in here. Or okay, well, all right. If it is, guys, we need to plan for that. Like, we're never going to be able to talk to each other ever again, and I don't want that to happen, guys. This channel could be flagged again. It could go down for 2 weeks. Last time it was a week. This time, if they did it again, that would be 2 weeks. It wouldn't go down permanently. There is a channel, Silver's Like Gold. If you're not subscribed to that channel now, you might go there. We'll use that as a backup. I see it's gained about 4 or 5 people went over there and subscribed to. Well, we can use that as a backup. I could go live there if they didn't take that one down too. So that's Silver's with an S Like Gold. That's another content channel that that hasn't been completely locked on me, and I have other channels on this platform, but they're all locked. I can't get into them, can't add or take. The content's all been, a lot of it's drained, but there's still a lot of it that's still up there. A couple other platforms that are channels that are still up and running shouldn't be there because they're old channels, but Father keeps the channel alive. So any of these channels that you can find content after I'm gone, but you should act again as if we are not going to be able to yeah. Panama said F you. Trudeau said F you. Mexico said F you. Nobody's saying yes except for America. Canada does not want to be the 51st state. Lion is in here. He's from Canada. He don't want to be nothing. He don't want to take on our debt. The way he pulled off what he said today, it's just despicable. It is to me, it's despicable. Denmark said F you. See, that's what I'm saying. This is, you guys, I mean, it's only in the United States is everybody like, yeah, Team America, everything's awesome. But outside, it's not. It's a whole different world. And even to our neighbors to the north. And that's why I don't want to be like that, because like Lion is playing the part with me, because he's not that, but he's like, oh, we're going to go into war with you. And it's because we're playing the part, because these people don't understand how they're trying to pin us. We're all one race, the human race. We this whole word borders and bullshit. I don't like none of this, guys. You already know, if you're a follower, from the TikTok platform, come over here, subscriber to this platform. I don't like borders. I don't like walls. I don't like none of this talk. My heart is so saddened today with people who are so scared out of their freaking minds. They let people come in here for about 20 years, 15 pretty, 20 years ago, it was, like I said, it wasn't hardcore, but, then they really started pumping people in there under the Obama administration, funneling these people in here. I mean, literally, we've been displacing countries for decades, 50 years, we've been forcing people to pay for oil with the US dollar, the SWIFT system and the whole Bretton Woods agreement, people have been coming in here for a long time. Most people came in here throughout the years and never wanted a bad thing for the people of this country, came here for a better opportunity and didn't cause any problems. There were people who did. That's every race, it just wasn't from Mexico. I'm so tired of people thinking just people come from Mexico, but that's something. OTM is other than Mexican. Since the Obama administration, Trump inherited a wall problem. They were other than Mexican. So it's just an ignorance of people's not understanding the Latino culture, not understanding South America, not understanding that people, pants go. Somebody that, is Mexican's not going to be called somebody who is from, a Salvadorian. They're going to definitely tell you. Somebody's from Cuba, they're not going to Mexican. These people, Mexicans like to be called, is you don't understand the Hispanic culture. You don't understand. They're not Mexicans coming across the border, and they pulled this crap, and then they let these pump these Venezuelans across the border. This Trans de la Agua, these violent like MS-13, very similar to, even worse in some ways. And now they've got this whole turn around and flip the script on everybody, kind of like the whole one race, human race, man and woman that Chump's pulling. That I already told you this before he ever said that. How many times did I say that on this channel before Donald John Drumpf said that? How many times was that said? He never said that. He didn't say anything. He wasn't talking about, this in schools and kids and none of this. Not on 1.0. Not one single what? More than just... Cat's not doing anything. Stop. Stop it. He's not doing anything. What is it, the cat? Pants, go on. Go lay down. You're bothering him. You're looking him in the face. He doesn't want to be like... Go. So, yes, OTM is other Mexican. 80% of the people sent to the Obama administration was considered OTM. Other Mexican, there's a major amount of separate population of the Asian Chinese population that have been coming here. There's a whole separate... You've been paying attention to this board. They used to call them illegal aliens, okay? Anybody in the room think there's such thing as aliens? How about an alien is foreign? If somebody's from a foreign country, that's considered alien. If you think there's an alien here, I think it's time for you to go. I truly care about the human species. There's an invasive hominoid species on this rock that is literally trying to, just nearly does not care. Squash us like bugs, taxation. They don't care. Make the Gulf of America. That's the stupidest thing I think I've ever heard. That is dumb. Dumb. That's like freedom. Dumb. Free will. Dumb. Add dumb. You guys, too much, man. It's just over the top, and people are just buying it. Buying the bull. Golden age. There's no golden age in scripture. So, hope you're not buying it. There's nothing biblical that they pull in this by the jots, and these people know this. No one world religion, one world currency, one world order doesn't say that one single time in scripture. It's not biblical. It's not part of scripture, but people just falling for it. So that's what he's doing. He's getting it all under one hat so he can give it to the dragon. You're falling asleep at the wheel. You're just letting it happen without mentioning it. You're not going to change it, but you can at least speak up about it is all I ask you to do. Because Father tells me, well, if I don't, you've got to speak up. Ephesians, Paul said, do not partake in their unfruitful. These people work in dark. I told you there is a hominoid invasive species that does darkness. And, Father, you turned my house into a den of thieves. When he sent Shiloh here, he didn't like that when, he whip the people selling the doves. So they threw tea in the harbor over 3%. We got to put it in this common modern, gross and net and all these fees and fines, and take just $500 billion, $500 billion from the U.S. public. We're going to do an AI jab, mRNA. Nobody's even talking about it. We're going to cure your cancer in 48 hours. using stinky muskrat tech, right? AI jab. Haven't you heard? The first one was the warp speed in 8 months, less time that it takes a revelation sign to come to pass, a woman to come in gestation child of a human child, 40 weeks. Nope. Warp speed, baby. 48 hours. Got that going on like a movie. So here we are. Just find it rather ironic that like Alanis Morissette, or no, like how all this just, I tell you guys, you know, hey, look, there's one race. This is all a bunch of we can't do these Jack and Jill zippers and buttons and all this stuff. And now the dude's talking about it. You know, I can't get no legal aid or no help or nothing, but oh boy, it's a guarantee they're in there watching. So you better remember that. And he's watching. So watching. They're always watching. Bodies on top of bodies. You ever listen to Bob? Better be careful. I'm getting a copyright strike. Be singing no Bob. There's no such that, I mean, think about this, and you're smart enough, Lion, to understand this. Debt doesn't go anywhere. Somebody's going to have to pay it. Now, although that you haven't been on this rock as long as I have, I think you totally have a grasp of concept of debt. Know that it doesn't go away. It just goes from one place to the other. So now if they reset the system, that would mean there would be a default. And what did Trump say about a default? There wouldn't be a default. You got to follow the money and follow what these Leviathan, that he said, you knew I was a snake before you let me in. You got to watch what they say. Make predictions. I don't profess, I'm not making any prediction of none of this. When I say Doge, God, maybe that's why they bumped this stream, because that's what this is about. That's the February ritual of the dog, Apollyon, warp speed jab, now 48 hours, bark at the moon, Ozzy Osbourne. I don't know. Expect something like that next. More Batman, Ozzy, moon, howling, wolf. It's all a cult. You're being gaslighted. I'm giving you these things ahead of time because Father gave me the spiritual discernment, celestial discernment, biblical discernment, time, if you will, to study these things. And I only want to share what it is that I see with you ahead of time. To give you a message, a warning, is only to give you enough time to prepare. I already told you about the Doge month, and here we are today. I was watching them on TV. You got the lefties going, oh my God, Trump, he's taking over the government, and he's there's a rogue federal portion of our government, but who's that? What's his name? That left Democrat guy. I can't stand him. They all go to the island. They're all part of the script. World stage, Dabu 7. Go see him. He did a live today. He does lives. What is his live days? Go see Dabu 77. My cat over there in Kentucky. He's a man who got on the streets of all these Ferguson, been out there, been stopped and gassed many times for you. If following that blogger, you missed out on decade plus of news that's not, you're going to get it real. Don't get no more real than Dabu. So thank you for us that could continue to sound this message alarm, that you have enough time to react to what's going on before these things actually happen. Otherwise, it's already on your face. You're already on your, the wave's already overtaken you. So, well, it's just Father. It's just Father Lion. All it is, just give me the ability of discernment. It's just, we have to do this we have to help each other. We have to help each other, guys. We got to really try to be charitable. This is how we're charitable. I don't want to sit there and not speak up in these times. This is the time. This dude is over, riding everybody now. Panama's ours, Canada's ours, Greenland's ours, Mexico soon, all the Gulf of America. That's imperialism, dude. You tell me we're not at war, huh? Okay, Paco. Taco, say taco, everybody get excited and forget about everything. So what is it about darn tacos? But anyways, tomorrow's Taco Tuesday, so careful. Only ate tacos and days in Hawaii. The land of the fee and the home of the slave. So, yeah, wrong kind of oil there, Donald. Wrong kind of oil. He didn't say bath oil, baby oil, right? Baby bath oil, big beds, and baby bath parties. That's the age of the Aquarius where these people are being revealed. So, I already told you that on this channel, remember? Gave you that revelation, gave you that understanding on why we already knew. We already knew all Holly, was all part of this, was all part of the island show, the big show with Chump at the helm and the realm and all their actors supporting this dude off and on. Oh, I'm going to move out of the country if he gets elected. Shut the fuck. These people are so. See what I'm saying, guys? You're gaslighted all the time through commercials until they put these big heads up there to keep the masses, give them enough bread and circus and they'll never revolt, brothers and sisters, is what it says. Remember, we were talking about circus, paint your face, bad man orange, all his red flag gun laws, all this. It's just, I just wanted to build it for, there we go. Boom. It's already in. Isn't that funny? Do your portions. We know what that is. Don't try to, you don't have to question it. You already know. Just do the portions. We already went over that earlier. Head height, hands, shoulders, hips. We know. Thank you for pointing out the obvious. People don't see it. As blind as a bat, aren't they? Nose on their face. It is worth the mention. I think that Don didn't say that. It's all maybe a child just something. No, yeah. So that's what I'm saying, guys. We knew all this all along. I don't mean to go there, but again, my father was an actor, guys, on television. I don't share this very much on this platform, and very few times I even made mention of it. But my dad used to throw acorn nuts at Mr. Rogers on the set of movie, on Mr. Rogers on the movie set, or as they were filming Dennis the Menace, he was on, part of that. All right, I don't want to go there. I've never even met my grandmother because the movie industry, she died of cancer, of drinking of alcohol, and yeah, so the movie, my family's all my last name. Look at my last name. Look at who I am. You wouldn't be hard to uncover the, and even my dad and my grandfather and made sure some of our names were protected, even, during some of the, like, these actors run different names. So, but I find that ironic later to find out that my dad threw acorn at Mr. Rogers and he was the number one sniper in the military. That was kind of ironic to not know. Wow. But, yeah. Oh my gosh. No, hey, Donald's taking care of that. Did you hear that, Lion? Did you hear that? Did you hear he said that he's talking about the wall? And he said, above and below, above and below. I'm like, dude, even they watch this channel, guys. Don't tell me they don't. Yeah, and then that whole route is the route where all the fires, but there's always, there's always fires in that area. Yeah, please go look at his talk about the wall, because he's talking about these underground, because I've been talking about, the greatest wall ever, tunnels, us above it. All right, so guys, I got to point at my camera. They're always in there and they're always recording everything. And you guys totally always forget that. And remember, I only care about the ones inside of me. The eye in the sky is the stupidest thing ever in the world. I have a Father inside of me and Shiloh that's inside of me that knows what they know not, knows my intentions, knows every thought that I can't get what the whole world doesn't see, what they can't even do with their AI algorithm, with their, I know how this is working. They're only trying to mimic Father. They're trying to get inside you is what they're trying to do in your head. See, where Father at the top, he's supposed to be put to that light at the top of your temple, right? Your body. And don't not above it or see what he's telling you, but you don't see it in the word and you let this overtake you. And he's not you serve another master. Your head is somewhere else, controlled by the mammon traditions of men. And this Jezebel spirit that reigns on this celebrations and customs and TV and follow the leader and do what the whole world is doing and just that's part of this whole game. Remember, it's an act, the bread and circus show that they're giving you, this television, and it's just part of this thing. If you partake in it, you can turn it off. Remember, I've already explained to you guys. I'd love to just turn you off and never do this again and put my hands in the dirt, but that's not what Father sent me here to do. I can still shuffle and time and find time to blog and build and stand up against the state of Oregon and still somehow keep my, together this county, live right in the county that's attacking me and still try to take in applications. I think that's, the last stream we did 7 hours ago. Anybody got their head not up their fourth point of contact, actually want to try to do something about it? There's ways. Turn this stuff off. Go back to organic. Grow your food. Get water. Get a way to protect it. Forget about it. Turn it off. Share the gospel with others. This would be a good time to just check out and say, no mas. Adios, amigos. Good time to help myself. Be a wise virgin. I wouldn't hold it against you if you did. Maybe that's what happened to anxiety, guys. Be careful too. Let's not quick to and appreciate everybody. Please always do that. If somebody's gone, we know there's lots of people we ain't seen that haven't come back. So, but appreciate these people on the channel that that are keeping men of some of these people that have been part of this ministry, part of the body, part of this body, of Christ here that we have here. Not the, he's the head and we are the body. So, it's okay to help yourself. It's hard when you're supposed to be charitable and just say no, but there's a time in scripture I used considerably a large amount of my time in past for more than a decade, speaking of the wise and foolish versions. It is part of the ministry that I've always professed that Father, has not everybody's a wise virgin, that we can be caught and be going in the wrong direction. And we need to use that. It's hard if you're charitable. And when you're supposed to be giving and charitable to say no, it's like the scripture contradicts itself, but it doesn't. You've got to be able to help yourself before you can help other people's. Around you are going to be affected. If your world is all messed up, you're going to affect other people's world. You be narcissists and jumping from a relationship where you had a bad one into another one, you're going to pass that on to other next person. You don't give yourself time, place, and space to heal yourself. Oh, outstanding. Yeah, much appreciated too, because it could. And I like that. I mean, appreciate I'm not to be all try to like sensational or anything. I mean, this has just been such a blessing to be a part of this. You guys, this is really progressing pretty fast. When you start going to war with your own allies, that's the problem, guys, that people don't see here. Is anybody taking this seriously? Donald Trump is going to war with his own allies. They're going to write that in history. United States went to war with its own allies, its own neighbors. And he's fronting this, oh, well, we protect them anyways militarily. We don't need their toilet paper and we don't need their shit paper. We don't need cars from them. Drill, baby, drill. We don't need oil. We don't need them. We don't need them. We don't need them. We don't need them. Nah, they're bull. We don't. They love us. They want to be the 51st state. Dogecoin, Chump Coin, Meme Coin, Melina Coin. Are you serious? So Dogecoin, go, my big puppy dog, go. Get ready for the dog rituals, guys. More gaslighting, more air rituals, more food, more taking away from your food supply, better expecting more attacking of the food chain, better expect more air rituals, more drones, more balloons, more crashing, fire and ice rituals, more of it, just more and more and more sorrows. This word is coming to pass, and it's not, I love it. It's just so beautiful to be a witness to these days, to be the remnant, be the last man standing in your place, being out there teaching the gospel, others the narrow way. Not to be called teacher, but we need to bring people to this understanding. He gives us this ability. We need to use the ability that we're given. Don't hide the light. Don't hide it. Please be a part of this, until the end, wherever you're at. If we're cut off, make sure it's written on your heart. You shouldn't need that book. You will need it until you can get it written on your heart. It's already there, but He will reveal it through things like this ministry, things like Brother Jim Brown, things like just pray. Pray is the word, face to face. Have some face to face time with Father. Have a relationship with Him, not a religion. That way, when you're speaking with Him, it's not some kind of, the only time He ever heard from you was I don't know, when things were good or things were bad. What about any of that in between time? Oh, thank you, God. Or, oh, shit. Oh, how about when He just all the time, thank you for all things, good and bad, is what we're supposed to be doing. Give Him all thanks for all things. He's creator of all things. He equator, right? He pours out a just measure when He returns. He does not give us all a measure the same. So He doesn't pour out a just measure on all of us when He returns. So you need to make sure wherever you're at in your equation of this, remember, as I told you, we're all part of the body and He's the head. We put that light at the top and we let it shine. We know He protects us, and that's what gives Him that high priest authority over that scepter, that crowning moment. And after our death, then we come resurrected life, dead, ashes, dust, doesn't matter what it is. It's just part of this beautiful process where we're going to have to get over the fact that this flesh isn't everything. Although we have a flesh to look after, there's a much better life that awaits us. If we'll put our treasure not of these things, of this Jezebel traditions of men, and partake of not unfruitful works of darkness, we go through the ellipsis, tribulation, and theolobo, pinching from both sides, gripped on by theolobos. The verb is to be pinched down, from both sides. And it does. He has that grip on our life that squeezes that, I don't know. That's what it does for me. I hope it's doing the same thing for you. And that's what I can't give thanks enough for this ministry, because it's worth my time. Because I don't think it's the worth is there's no exchange there. It's the right and righteous thing to do. We have this ability to speak up now, and then don't. We should be using every single one of these, taking this, deity system, this demonic system that's metadataing everything you say and do, so it could eventually, near placebo, affect you. Again, David Vos said, man, I was 200 yards away from my phone. I had never once looked in my phone off grid, one time, but I was thinking it. When I got back, it was there loaded on my phone for me. So, rail tunnel, let's open to the pit ritual. So that's all part of this Operation Love Boat Mountain. Okay. Operation Popeye, Operation Fantasy Island. I'm the only blogger that's put out any of this information right now. There's others that are speaking about, but none of this true. Whatever we've given it, these are true. You'll see what I'm talking about. Under the sea will become up as above. The waters above. The waters, they'll play their space boat rituals with people, tell people there's aliens. And it's all about a pit. It's in scripture. It talks about out of the pit and for feet, not above our head. And so I appreciate you mentioning that, because my last name, once again, Werner, W, V or W, anyways. It's this. I fell in love with a Swiss mocha girl, and I was ruined after that. No, anyways, don't drink hot chocolate. But The no need for concern. Okay, that's a hadron collider, which is the magnetosphere, not some kind of smashing. Go see Mud Fossil University. I like to rip that hadron. That's the largest at this current time man-made structure, but this rebranding of this Silk Road, all these old trade routes through the Africa's into the age is going to crush the infrastructure back through that Silk Road, and so we're really going to take possibly still. Yes, I know, that's so awesome. I can't wait to be done with this. So, but we got to really do this, guys. We really got to be this remnant that document these things again, that so we can not stand by and say, hey, well, they said, yeah, push your buggy down the thing and you won't get the bug. Nope, you want to hurt old people if you don't put on your face diaper and be a part of our, occult masquerade, satanic ritual here. You don't love old people if you don't do this, and go inside, save, stay inside, save lives, um, the whole thing, just here we are again. And this is a whole lot more going than the last one. This dwarfs the one everybody's waiting for is now in effect, 100% rocking and rolling, and nobody's ever like, oh, is there anybody waiting for something to happen? So that's the one I've been trying to tell you about there, Lion, too. If you've been paying attention to this channel, nobody's blogging on this. Nobody's bringing this up. Nobody is bringing up this ritual of this abyss. That's why I hit so hard on this blind 11. This is what it's about. That's why he is blind 11. That's why he's 9 and 11. It is the cultic pit that opens up to smoke. Christ got the key. Get ready for key. I don't want to do this. God, I don't like doing this. Father, why do you know? They'll eventually start bringing keys, and think about how many ways you can make a key. How about playing a piano key? Whatever, guys. You're not going to see. Most people don't have eyes to see, man. They're not understanding. A wolf, Doge, EGOD, coin, wolf, Apollyon, and here they are doging this thing already. This a whole month of the cold. Woo! Bark at the moon, man. Howl at the moon. Full moon. Any of this lunar tick goes with the same thing. I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. Get a bit ready for the 3 little pig rituals. You little monkeys. You can't see, you can't hear, and you don't speak nothing, do you? You are like you're like monkeys in a barrel. It's a game. It's a game. Like Price is Right. Seriously. It's astounding, there's no such thing as a fallen angel, Line. No fallen angels. No such thing as a fallen angel. There's nowhere in scripture says a fallen angel. Where do you get fallen? Because you're going to meet fallen. I'm not, you're old enough and mature enough and wise enough to not. What do you mean fallen? Where do you see in scripture it says fallen? Because remember, people have taken that out of context. Satan, for example, that's in the book of Revelation, who was already in the garden in the book of Genesis when this was all created, before man and woman, Adam and Eve was created. The serpent Leviathan was already in the book of Revelation. He fell, right? So I just want to make sure we're referring to what fallen means. And if you're going to use the term a fallen messenger without wings, so we don't get this all twisted and perverted and try to get they warp speed this for you. Godspeed or warp speed, you tell me. It's up to you. So I'm not here to decide goat or sheep or Adam, Eve, or man or woman, or none of that. What have I got my fire doing here? Oh, you're ripping, huh? Wide open, boys. We're chooching her wide open. Woohoo! Let's turn that damper down. Okay. So, because you bring something up and I don't ever, and I stop doing it, but I'll go ahead and do it again. Why do people talk about the Euphrates, and now you're bringing up fallen angels, and why did they Euphrates up the first time? And what was the cause because of that? And what happened? Remember Babylon? They were on the nothing. They didn't think anything could. Okay, thanks. All right, because I just want to make sure we're no problem. Lion, I appreciate your, and I normally don't fill the Euphrates question at all because I crush people on that. Like, because nobody can ever talk about why the Euphrates dried up the first time and how biblically important that is, and why Babylon was on the river and why they thought they couldn't be overthrown, and what it was that the drying up is not what, people will not talk about it, and it's okay. I just want you to make sure you're in understanding of the historical record of the first time that the Euphrates dried up, and like it did, they came down the bed of the river after they dried it up. See, Babylon didn't think it could be overthrown. And remember, he said it'll be a burnt tower, a burnt city. So I know what's going to happen. It's going to happen the way it's written. So prideful and burnt mountain. Go see Brother Jim's teaching. You'll just absolutely love the teaching on this. He is an absolute. It's music to my ears when he teaches on this, on Babylon. I love his teachings of Babylon. So he's definitely, no one can come close to this teaching of the Euphrates too, which will give you this same biblical. I can't even come close. I wouldn't even try to teach you about this same, and I know it, but I don't want to even wreck the teaching and try to mirror that teaching. It's better to just go watch it, and it's not hard. You'll find many Texas seriously. Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's nice having access to something where you can really work, break down, study these things, guys, because that's what I'm saying. If you go back to Brother Jim's teaching on this teaching of this first drying up the Euphrates, and it really gives you a good understanding on the whole sense of the meaning of this second time. And remember, all this can be performed in a physical sense, but we're not under anything physical. Although physical things will happen, you're not under. If you fall for that and you allow yourself to be under that physical realm of these mammon traditions or any of these things, it is very difficult, because like that whole 1.0 when Mr. Chump did this creation of this, bringer of the disease and the cure in warp speed, Apollyon, the sun god, is the bringer in the cure of the disease. $2.2 trillion, another what equaled 8.8, 4 years, all this dried up the money, these people. I don't want to try to teach the Euphrates teaching, because I really do appreciate how Brother Jim has so much understanding of what Babylon was, where it was placed at the time. He'll teach you with a map. You need to see the map. You need to understand where Babylon is. Most people cannot identify on a map. I can tell you, but unless you see and you start realizing, then you're going to know where the Garden of Eden is. You're going to understand where Bethlehem is. You're going to understand where Syria. These will all come. Thank you again, brother Donald there, because it really is. And we're not raising, he is on YouTube, and we're not raising Brother Jim over. He's just a man who has spent 68 years of his life in the Word of the Father, and he has a way of articulating this timeline and makes your understanding too with maps, cultures, customs. You need to understand, again, as I teach you idioms and things like these. He spoke in parables. By definition, you really should more study by definition one word at a time and slow down. And if you're hungry for the word, that's amazing and an awesome thing. It's Father that's driving that desire inside you. And that's another thing that Brother Jim will help you come to understand, is that if Father is the creator of all things, there's no such thing as luck. He just said, if I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, not one of them would. So you're not doing it. You're not trying to seek this word because Father is pulling you to him. And if you'll let him do that and not be afraid, there are a lot of people, and I haven't really thought about this in a while, but if you were hungry and you were very young, you're a baby believer, and I don't care about what your age is, okay? That has nothing to do with it. When you're young in this walk, when he pulls you, it could be, people don't find Christ until, they're 20, 30, they go to prison. So, everybody comes to the understanding Father does it, not them. See, that's what people don't understand, is they think that, they can be saved. You can't be saved. They think they can accept Christ. You can't accept Christ. All these things are traditions. Mammon, some Jezebel, some priest or pastor or deacon or reverend or false teacher, false prophet taught them these things that are not aligned with Scripture. So we need to truly make sure, if we're going to understand the Scripture, we should understand the definition of what it is that we're talking about. One word, and I don't remember, the truth will set you free, and I don't believe in this freedom. There's no such thing as free will. But once your heart knows it's been defined, kind of like what Don said, appreciate the test, that testament there, your testimony on this. Once you're able to sup with this word and you're getting the truth, your mind is you're gonna get fed, and then you're gonna feel this again, as Brother Jim, makes us discover through the word, which is so beautiful and eloquent with his teachings, again, on this Euphrates teachings and other things. His timeline is not taught like any other man. He has a way of putting the timeline, like I can't refer to all the sister chapters, and this one goes with this one, and I don't want to be Brother Jim Brown. I don't ever care to have that kind of understanding. I don't care to have that kind of understanding. I love the gospel, brothers, sisters. I'm a prior pig and a prior, veteran and all these. So I have to go down this measure. Brother Jim has his measure. I have mine. So I can never, ever, ever, ever. What I choose to mirror in Brother Jim's teaching is because Father calls out to my heart to do that. And mostly it's just the gospel. If this is a pretty tailored ministry. I like to teach, but most of the time, if I'm teaching, it is off a mere teaching of Brother Jim's teaching, something that he already maybe had known in the ministry in the past, did something. He helped me refine my ministry already. I've always taught the Lord's Prayer. I've always talked about, wise and foolish versions. I've always, brought these things to people's understanding. Things I've taught incorrectly, fishers of men, making up my own parables and things like that to try to bring in. It's okay. Brother Jim taught me that just because I didn't exactly quote this stuff, and because I'm so worried, brothers, sisters, about that last book that tells me don't add or take away. I've already been very forward and honest with you about that. Being that I was a Reconstructionist, reading this book backwards was the worst thing that I could have ever done. But it's how Father brought me more to him than I have ever been. Oh, blessings. Carl, I haven't seen you for a minute. Thank you so much. Good to see you. But, when we're young too, brothers, sisters, to bring us back in time, when we're baby believers, we're a little uncomfortable to speak about these things in public around our friends and things like that. But when Father calls you to him, there's nothing you can do. Good to see you. How's I know you're probably over there quite a bit on the TikTok platform. I tried to do a little more work over there, man. It just didn't, and I still go a minute and spend, over there, but I know I've seen some people over there. I appreciate you coming back over to this side, over here to the YouTube platform, the Hollow Needle channel, YouTube. You knew I was a snake, he said. Right? No. Oh, all right, here we go. So I tried over there to get that backup channel to do a little bit, but just too much shadow banning over there with the Dragon channel over there. But do appreciate always when you make another presence. Everybody comes from the over from followers from the Predestined for Light channel. Now we're over here at back over here on YouTube, and do appreciate. There's a lot going on right now. It's this they're shaking and moving so fast, because I saw that whole thing with okay, but we're not good line, but remember, we're not to celebrate it, because under this covenant, he fulfilled all the traditions, all the rituals, all the celebrations, all the dietary laws, all the Sabbath, and all these. We're not to do any of it. And the reason why, too, I'm going to really simplify that. We always mess it up, Lion. Doesn't matter. We had at one time did, and we're blessed. The Israel that it speaks about in Scripture was a blessed nation. They were the heavens, and they were the ruling class, and there was the earth, which is the earthly armies that could not overthrow. This is part of why you really need to spend as much time as you can over there with Brother Jim, because he'll pull all of this teaching where we were just talking about the drying up the Euphrates with Babylon, and it's a lot of will parallel all the same teachings that I give you over here, because again, many of them are for the ministry that I again father through watching Brother Jim's lessons through the years. It truly is. These lessons will all go together for you very nicely with your question, like about the Euphrates, and then Babylon, and man, I am so thankful for Brother Jim's ministry. It really, really helped me not be lazy and really make that word come to fruition in the back of that book where it said in Revelation, don't add or take away, because I knew I had made some serious mistakes with people, and thinking that I had something to do with anything people, bringing people to Father. Nobody brings you to Father. Nobody brings you to Christ. Lady in Red, I wish you'd come out here and experience that every day of the week. But I know you got your thing going there. So what's going on else in your world there, Carl? I was going to make a mention too. I find this rather ironic, brothers and sisters, that Mr. Dragon, Mr. Chump, he was the one who started all this TikTok ban. And then he saved the day. If you read the banner when it came, Trump saved the day, Trump saved TikTok. That's a brilliant marketing strategy for capturing the younger generation. You know that? I've done marketing. It's part of my media. It's my background, marketing, all these, whatever, college. I'm not saying I don't want to talk about my past. Yeah, I've been to college. I've done some filthy, filthy things. He comes in and saves the day, but look at what kind of move that is. But wasn't he the one to put this whole ban in place to begin with? I don't know, guys. You tell me. So is that what you said you hadn't been over there, but I was watching it. I've been kind of, I know it's about buying the rights to that platform. I swear I saw somebody say that who bought Somebody bought that. I saw that. Somebody said they bought. I think it was a meme. Maybe it was a meme. But somebody had bought TikTok. Nice. Good one there, Lion. Good one, man. Way to stay on this puke. No, it wasn't Elon, though. It wasn't. There was somebody else. They said they'd already had purchased it. It showed a picture of him with this CEO already there. Maybe it was a meme. Maybe it was a meme. I think it might have been a meme. Darn it, the world we live in is so crazy between reality and so all right. Let's be a little bit more centered here too on this. Really, guys, this is a time that do you have a choice right now what Trump is doing? Do any of these other countries have a choice? Or is he just going to drill these countries like Canada? How the hell does Canada go from a completely separate, they have their own, let's not start to break this down to Constitution, Magna Carta, all this. He made them a state. Today he said they were a state. They're a state, and they want to be the 51st state. What? How's that's going to happen? Whoa. No. Yes. No, yet. That's war, brothers, sisters. This is war. This is how wars are fought, by trade and tariff, embargoes and sanctions, like I already told you. He's flipping the script like he did today. Again, he plays both sides. We don't need Canada's cars. We don't need Canada's oil. We don't need Canada's paper products. We don't need Canada. We don't need Canada. We protect Canada. It's a problem, Canada. And then turn around and say Canada loves us. So I'm not sure what they got, Emily from Shark Tank. I heard something, Carl. If there was something on that TikTok thing, I seen something. Maybe it was real, wasn't, but this was I seen this. It was the owner, and what it is, guys, is I want to make another mention of this too. They're trying to buy that algorithm. There's a certain algorithm that goes along with TikTok. Okay, whether you understand or not, and they're trying to buy the rights to that. So whether you understand what's going on or not, that's what it is. So I don't want to beat around the dragon or the snake or the bush. You knew I was a snake before you let me in. Snake hiding in the bush. Watch out. There's a snake in your boot. So this is what a world war looks like. If you ever have never lived during a world war, right? Because some of us are not that old, you're experiencing a world war again. So There we go. Nice. Thank you, David. Absolutely. Talk about flip the script. Why not run as a Republican, right? Get the Republican nomination. Corporation. campaign funding. Oh, follow the money. So, yes. And, you know, Lion, I think you're smart enough to understand that there is no physical antichrist, although they'll make one. Yes, they will. Remember, they'll do all these Operation Love Boat, giants, aliens, the whole works, all this non-biblical thing, and everybody will one world order and one world currency and one world religion. Why do you think they're doing their blockchain? Everybody's buying it, man. Everybody's taking the bait. Everybody's hooked. It's unbelievable, right? Just how far that they were going to take this thing, and I don't think we've even begun to see what we're about to see. We're only how many days into this? Has he even taken the seat of presidency yet? I don't even think he's actually taken the seat of president. And he's done all these things already. That's right, David. Thank you. Yes. Oh man, that's beautiful. That's is this, so who said that, David? If not, we're gonna have to quote that for sure. David Olson. The world needs to see, feel, and touch everything. They need to see you, Jesus, believe you, Jesus, touch you, Jesus. They need something to point their finger at. Like dancing Israelis at the bottom of the tower? No, like Osama bin Laden. They call me the scapegoat bin Laden, right? So I hear you. That's brilliant, though. I do like that. People think they need their proof that's without faith, is what David's saying. I don't have no faith. Oh, ye of little faith. So absolutely the opposite. People need proof. Show me. Right? My eyes. I need my eyes. I need to touch my sense. I have touched my senses. Touch my physical. I need physical taste, touch, smell, hearing. Absolutely good, brilliant. I don't know if somebody ever said that, but that's before. But they need the physical. They need this. They need this sensate. They need the senses tickled or taste or touch or. There you go. The sweet tickle of their ear. You know, the sweet taste in their mouth, and then it doesn't taste sour in their belly, so something's wrong, right? They just keep eating the bowl. You know, it tastes good. You know, so quite the start to the first wave. Now, how many? I think we've seen at least we're into the second wave here, because I think we already saw the first wave, even so to speak, before he took this presidency. And I'm not even saying the last one, even with the Vidco, because they really stepped this hammer down. Remember I talked about when they dropped those stones via their tech, red kachina, blue kachina, silver car, light gold. You tell me, I don't know. But that's when they hammered down on the gas pedal quite a bit on their, whatever. And we saw that. And then I think we saw, the lull is what I was warning you guys when scripture says sorrows. It's talking about a wave of an intensity, a cosmo, an orderly arrangement of like a ripple effect, but each one more increasing, the opposite of a ripple. Normally, the intensities, the ring is strongest, but it does ripple out and get smaller. Even though the ring gets bigger, the effect is, wait, see, there's that mass effect. If you're talking about train derailments, I did kind of give you a warning about cracking and riffing of train derailments, breaking of bridges, water. David Devine has talked about this in Adapt 2030 with these train derailments. I think it has everything to do with again, this crustal displacement from this expansion of this exciting of this core, the BZ and the phi angle, all this extra energy that's penetrating through all of the rock all the dirt from the north and the south polarity of our, the polarity. And it's, we're seeing that effects on the first mile of the crust, that we sits on top of, layers of water. Remember, we have many places like right now, you can go down 30, 40 feet and you get aquifers and, hit water and, so I do think this is definitely part of this, as I've told you, this ongoing magnetic compression event. And eventually we'll have it again like we did in the 1800s, where they will liquefy this inner, laterals behind will hot blend mesh with the earth. And so I believe this is part of why we see more of these things like train derailments, but they weren't like the year that they did that Ohio, I know somebody who worked for the train company, and he said there was, and if you looked into the statistics, there were not more trained excuse me, well, that was Palestine or Palestine, East Palestine. That train derailment was in a movie. It was, they're still talking about that. I heard something about it today about the firefighters and if they had better tech and if they could have shared it. But that year there was not more train derailments. There was just more attention brought to that. So I'm not sure if you're referring to that year now or what year that you're referring to about. Yeah, I told you what the planes are too, guys. These planes are all rituals. Listen, I'm going to try to show you guys, and I'm not the only one who's pointed this out, guys. Nancy Kerrigan comes up, or excuse me, Tanya Harding. Tanya Harding has not blogged, said anything, never had a Facebook account, and said smack since she beat the snot out of Nancy Kerrigan. And how long is that? Anybody that old remember the Olympics? Greg Louganis. Come on, guys. This is what, the 84 Olympics? Is this Nancy Kerrigan, Greg Louganis, Tanya Harding? She beats the snot out of her, the ice rink. We all remember that, right? He hit his head on the diving board. Do I need to do more? Remember how much free food they gave away with gold medals at McDonald's, guys? Come on. 87, 84, 1984 Olympics. So, these were the 84 Olympics during the summertime. LA, were these the Winter Olympics? That winter, anyways. Okay, so 87 was this at 80. Okay, so we know who we're talking about this time. This lady hadn't been in the public forum, met, nobody knows her, nobody's seen of her. There's this airplane crash full of ice skaters. She comes on like an hour before this crash and makes a Facebook profile. Tanya Harding, ice skater, Olympics. Mary Lou Retton, Tanya Harding. Oh, we just went there, did another one, right? So, anyways, more of these Olympic gymnasts that were back there. Who was that? Who was their coach back there? All right, but you got what I'm saying, guys. An hour before, 2 hours, something like that, she blogs and creates a YouTube or Facebook account, and then they have this ice skating team, ice skaters that wreck into a helicopter, right? Fire and ice, brothers, sisters. It's an occult ritual. It's an air ritual. Planes, already told you that's part of this ritual. So I hope you understand what they're doing. They are not afraid to just And look, I had to really think about this because I thought about this, made me really think about the day Blind 11. Remember, there was another plane that crashed that day. What plane was that? Remember that? They called from the air on their cell phones and all that nonsense. The little hole in the ground there. Light, that other, remember that? Because nobody ever wants to talk about it, ever forget about that one. Everybody always thinks about the two buildings and the but there was another flight. Remember, these people called. Remember the flight number of that flight? I'm trying to quiz you on your Blind 11, Mr. 45 and 9. I'm telling this is the dude who's responsible for all this. You guys won't, it's okay. Can't wait to meet you on the other side so we can look at and go back at this and go, okay. I see where you saw that. Well, that was pretty clear right there as a bell. 45, 47, 9, and 11. Not hard to see. 3 steel buildings with 2 airplanes and re-erect a One World Trade Center from, so there was there was another plane and it went down and they made calls. Cool. Yeah, I'm not saying that's, yeah. So in this case, this is something that I've always had to think about, that they've taken these people from these supposed, flights. And that was one that's very questionable because how could they have made these calls from cell phones up in the air and their voices? And so I'm wondering again if this is it. Just I'm telling you, it crossed my mind. It crossed my mind, guys, with these flights. With a team of Olympic, and military, and because I seen some shit that they were flying some Black Hawk helicopter remotely, guys, like a drone. So I'm like, you know what, son of a, I know this too, because I know I'm a veteran. I'm not supposed to talk about certain things. You're getting technology that's a conventional war is so hard to watch, but it is what it is. Look what they're doing in Ukraine. So it's just hard to watch this, brothers, sisters, because I don't want to think that, and I kind of do, like maybe they were, well, where do they take these people sometimes? I don't know. So I'm hoping that's not, I don't know. I don't want anybody to be hurt, but they can do things like that, guys. Now, don't forget that they can make anybody appear anywhere now with their virtual everything. They've got your, you said yes, you hit the little yes to every little thing you didn't read through. We gave our authority. They've got our voice recording. They can AI 3D holograph you doing something somewhere else to this president, that senator, this child. They'll do whatever they want. They'll do whatever they want. They can create the lines between reality, AI. I got to make a mention of this. I'm probably going to wrap it up here after this, guys. I subscribe to this blog on Facebook, some letter, whatever, something I clicked on at one time. Don't do that. But it's called Rustic Cabins or Off-Grid Cabins, because I build cabins or whatever, right? Rustic or off-grid cabins. Tango, stop. And these cabins that are putting on there, I guess maybe it was about a year ago was the first time I clicked on that little link or something to look at cabins on Facebook. I never had it in my, didn't look through none of it. And so whatever, I linked up to one of these little pages or something. I clicked on there and put a post, whatever little cabin I was building or something. There was no AI pictures on there about a year ago. And now like 95% of the pictures on there are AI. They're AI. And it just kind of pisses me off because I'm like, that's not off grid. That's not a cat. They're too perfect. A lot of them are just too perfect. These cookie cutter little, I'm like, and it's so hard to tell though. And I can tell because it's just too perfect. I build, you know what I'm saying? They're just the setting, that is. So I don't know if you've seen that. And the reason why I kind of say that they've really did a good job at blurring what is reality and what is AI and what's not. And if you think about holographic, and they can make, what is it? Tupac, or Michael Jackson moonwalk across the stage in a holographic form, and dragons flying around stadiums and football stadiums and things like that. It's not possible to make your body be somewhere, show up, and your voice, and you made a call, and then backlog you and Wikipedia, and then re-erase this is so easy to do. They could do this to any one of us. So I hope you see where, they can do anything they want right now. And they've had this tech forever. So don't sit there and think that, you're going to hide from this tech, and you're not. The best thing I've tried to tell people now too is just don't recognize it. It doesn't mean it's not AI tech. It doesn't mean that it's AI. It doesn't mean it's alive though. AI doesn't mean it learns though. You're just an antichrist idiot is what you are. That's what AI is. So, AI, antichrist idiot. You're believing all this nonsense. So stop with you're getting gaslighted. We have tech. I'm not saying we don't, and they have tech far beyond what this general public, even militaries, are allowed to use at this time. So that's why, again, it's a little hard to watch. Sometimes I really wish that I wasn't a veteran, because I would know some of the things that I saw, and know that this tech is so old that they use, now isn't, I've always tried to explain to people when I was very young, they could take a swarm of drones and get into nearly any opening. You're not going to hide from a swarm. You ever get swarm drone? Come on, guys. They do all that shit with their freaking light show in China. You couldn't think they couldn't use that same tech on you? So I don't like none of it. That's why I'm kind of anti-tech, like to live the way I live, but I'll use as little as I can, so please be ready for it, because that's the, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's so possible for them to do, you guys are enjoying the finer things of life, as I see there. So good stuff, guys. There's a good day to beat this drum real hard on this. This is a war drum that I'm beating you here. So I'm not playing with you. Please try to remember that we are at war. The governments are obviously taking all these nations towards a further escalation. Do you need there to be bombs falling in America before you do something about it? You guys, we can beat most of this stuff if we just stop. You've got some friends, you got some family, you've got some neighbors, you've got somebody. Would you please pull your head out of your ass and come together with those people? And I don't mean to be lewd or rude, but please get your head out of the dark. Get with people who are like-minded. Beat the system. Become your own supply chain. Find a place to grow food. Find a place to have some animals. Grow some animals. Find a place to protect them, and get there soon, please. Get to self-sufficiency. Get to organic lifestyle. Is going to be the way of the future, or you're going to get stuck in this new system. You know what I'm saying? So just please try to make it happen, guys. I think that's going to be our old ways, and you're going to just flip the drones, or whatever, and just move on with your life. Don't recognize it. eventually, I believe at one point you're going to have to kind of turn this stuff off and leave it alone and stop doing it. You'll be better. More time will be more. Uh, while you're here, not you still have to take up your cross, brother, sister. Never forget, to have to spend some time communicating with others in fellowship. That's why this ministry is here. So don't forget that. But you have to sometimes be a wise virgin and tell people no and go do what it is so that you can be charitable and help others later. So please find that if you can. I hate to see people struggle. I really do. I really do. And I don't want that in any way, shape, or form for any one of my brothers and sisters in a way that I want you to struggle. I want things to be hard. But not things that you couldn't do for later type of things. You know, the struggle is supposed to be real. The struggle is supposed to be now, and it'll be worth it, brothers, sisters. It'll totally be worth it if we put our loins girded into service. We have extra oil. That's the thing I talk to you about right now. Just please don't lose sight on what's going on. It's so hard I know why people totally check out and never turn back to this system. And please try to remember, I said it earlier in the earlier stream, the American dream is possible, even though it doesn't seem like it's a complete impossibility right now. It's not. It's not. It's not. I live what I would consider the American dream. And even though I haven't got the whole, community done here, I've still homestead. I've still done, a full off-grid. It was all built from nothing. And this, what a success Father's allowed to happen out here. So I can't be mad at myself for trying to share it with people, create this community ministry. But now I know it's going to happen, like I said, in his time. And I have Kevin here now, which is a blessing. And like I said, he's hot on the trot to create more livestock. That's what we're working on, livestock, and working on more equipment out here and doing multiple things are in works right now to try to help the ministry create that abundance that I tell you they say you can have. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Don't listen to them. Supply chain shortages are created because you create them. You create that supply chain shortage because you go to the store. And if they shut that store off, they're not going to take your cash there. You're not going to be able to trade with them. They don't want nothing. They can't get out of their digital system, so they can't sell you anything. You got to avoid that. If that happens again, you better have a plan, brothers, sisters. You better have a plan, please. That's why I push so hard for self-sufficiency. You know what I'm saying? I really want to see us successful in this opportunity that's abound above us right now, to be preparing where there's not restriction of travel, where everything is still on sale at this point, meaning available. The price might not be affordable next week, month, when they put more restrictions, more tariffs, more embargoes, and more sanctions on us. So please find a way to get around tariffs, embargoes, and sanctions. They can't tariff your chickens, can they? Your chicken eggs? I don't know. Maybe they will. Who knows? This government is rogue, man. But hey, you can, for now, they're not. That's what I'm saying. Use the opportunity you have now. Yesterday was the better day to do it. Yeah, saying, line, they won't take your cash. They can't take it out of their digital system. Therefore, the food rots and the people don't get it. That's sick. That's sick. That's sick. That's sick. They do it all the time. All the time. Oh, it came out of the food fresh zone and it's bad. Dudes out there living off the trash can, off this food, staying alive, and they're saying that people are going to die if they eat it. No, they don't even let people get in the can anymore, eat out of the trash can. It's crazy. All right, guys. This is a good opportunity, though. Remember, there are opportunities. American dream is still totally possible. Don't let anybody, even if you're not America, the dream to have self-sufficiency is not dead. You know what I'm saying? So go be that change it is that is possible to happen, and be that light for others, or others who are homesteading. There are other people who are doing this. I'm not reinventing the wheel when I say what I'm trying to do here, if that makes sense, guys. Homesteading, organic lifestyles, these are not new. These are ways of the old, and that's what I'm trying to get you to go back to, the things that worked for us for time and millennia. And then you should be fine. You won't need their new digital system, and then you'll have a food supply, animal husbandry. You'll know how to take care of the land. You'll be able to make it through adversity times. You'll have storage. You'll have all this things that you need, and then some, and you'll be able to help others out. So I'm so thankful that I have the time to spend with you guys all the time. You know, seriously, so much time is, what a blessing. What a blessing. People punch the clock 9 to 5, can't even get away from it, enslaved, and look at the time that's spent here. What a blessing this is. So, all right, guys, appreciate it. I hope everybody got to say their final, evening depart. We'll come back again if we're able to do this tomorrow. And please try to do something to make your future here with what is coming with these tariffs a little more bearable for not just yourself, but others too. All right. Thank you for tithing your time. Pastor Revelation. We're going to end this one at almost 4 hours there. So that was a good stream. Appreciate it. Leave a comment, and we'll come do another broadcast willingly tomorrow-ish. Leave yourself a little bit of an out. Okay, guys? Much agape and flow. Yeah, I don't even know what time it is here. Oh, it's holy smokes. It's late. I didn't even realize. I had to go, guys. Appreciate it tonight. Pastor Revelation, Pastor Apocalypse. Welcome to the new age. Welcome to the last book, guys. We are the heirs that will be crowned in this age. I hope you're ready for that crowning moment. Whoa.